Right side.
Okay, let's start. Niharika. So, good evening and welcome everyone to today's webinar by Sexual Medicine Committee and Young Talent Promotion Committee of FOGSI, jointly organized by both of them. When I approach Niharika, let's us plan some joint webinar. We have done so many webinar in last 3.5 years. So we thought let's do something different, something unique. So here it is, out of the box webinar, and I hope you will enjoy this. We have selected topics which are not academic, but they are very important topics, and we have some renowned speakers who are going to make listening them more interesting. They are all master in their respective fields. We all know that the medicos are not that much sound when it comes to finance. So we have talked on understanding finance. Marketing is very essential nowadays, and in this era of virtual world, uh, I don't have to emphasize more on the how important is the digital marketing. So we will have a one talk on the digital marketing as well as. We as gynec are quite busy in our practice, and sometimes we forget to enjoy our life. But we must need to find right balance between work and life. So there will be one talk on the balance between work and life. Our body functions on hormones, and so in love and sex also there are many chemicals, hormones are all involved, and there are so many chemical locha going on behind the scene for the making of the love and making of the sex. So we are going to learn about the chemical locha in the sex and the love. We invented Kama Sutra, and it's like Gita when it comes to the sex. But somehow we forgot our own inventions and look to the Western world to guide us when it comes to sexual functions. So we all know about Kama Sutra, but nobody has ever read it. So let's find out some interesting fact about how Kama Sutra is relevant in today's era. In our tradition, Dharma, earth, calm, and moksha are the important pillar of the full life. So let's find out how sexuality and spirituality are connected to each other. So I'm quite excited to hear all the topics. And what about you? I'm sure you also are same excited as I am to learn to hear all these topics. I am thankful to our President, Dr. Rishikesh Pai, sir, our Secretary General, Dr. Madhuri Patel, madam, as well as our Vice President in charge, Dr. Asa Baksi, ma'am, and Dr. Sampath Kumari, madam, to all the support to both of us, Dr. Niharika, as well as me, to do all the activities of our committee. I am sure you will be glued to your seat till the end. And so let's explore out of the box and out of the box topics. So now I'll hand over further proceeding to Monica Singh and Dr. Apurva Datta. Monica Singh is the member of the Young Talent Promotion Committee and a young gynecologist from the Varanasi. And Dr. Apurva Datta is a, what I say about Apurva, he is a right man and he is behind all my webinar, doing all the important and important work behind the scene. He, without him, I am not able to do all the activities. He is so much important for me. So I welcome both of them, Dr. Monica and Dr. Apurva, to take further proceeding. Over to you, Apurva and Dr. Monica.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your warm welcome and kind words. Really, I welcome on the behalf of Sexual Medicine Committee and Young Talent Promotion Committee, I welcome all of you in this really unique webinar, which is really out of the box. So as we all know that before we start something new, we are always getting the blessings from the seniors. And today, before we start, we have our Secretary General, Dr. Madhuri Patel, Madam. Thank you so much, ma'am, for always being there. Ma'am doesn't need any introduction. Ma'am is, in a true sense, she is an example of women empowerment in India, being the first Secretary General being the first Secretary General of our vibrant organization, FOGSI. So thank you so much, ma'am, for always being there, for always being with us and your blessings. Over to you, ma'am, for your kind words. Dr. Madhuri Patel, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Apurva, for your kind and warm words. Respected our President, Dr. Rishikesh Pai, most dynamic and visionary. Then our Vice President, Dr. Asha Bakshi, Dr. Sampath Kumari, who is also today guest of honor. Then our committee chair, Dr. Neeraj Jadhav and Dr. Neharika Malhotra. Excellent work, and I congratulate them. I appreciate them, and they are doing such a nice work. I must say, all 28 committees are doing, but these two people are doing excellent work. And of course, our today's chief guest, Dr. Sunita, very great friend of mine, and she's always, always smiling, and she is always there with all of us. And then my best friend, Dr. Krishnendu Gupta, he is not only my best friend, but also my critic. So I always, appreciate that part of him. And of course, today's Master of Ceremony, Dr. Monisha Singh and Dr. Apurva Datta, and all our speakers, chairperson, and all our delegates who have joined. Very good evening to all of you. At the outset, I would like to thank organizers for giving me this opportunity. FOGSI is the most vibrant, prestigious, and one of the largest with 266 member bodies and now 40,000 plus committed members to women's health. And we have 28 committees, and next year we'll have 29 committees and 29 chairpersons. So I'm really, really excited to have a next year, very vibrant year with the President, Dr. Jaideep Tang, and all 29 committee chairs and all the vice president. And I must say that we are into all academic, community, work, everything we are doing. But what today's, webinar is really, really out of the box, and the name is appropriate. And as we, all of us are aware, we know how to keep on working, but we never know how to invest our money, how to, the finance is very, very important. Without finance, nobody will respect you, that everybody knows. But we work like anything, like, every time we are working, but we never look after our finance. At the same time, nowadays, I'm the one who is practicing since last 30 years. So those days with the word of mouth, patient used to come. But the marketing strategy, which I have realized now, that there are many youngsters, they are into website, they have website, and they have a marketing strategy. So to improve your profession, you have to have knowledge about the marketing strategy. And of course, I am not going to say all the topic, but they are really, really, not spoken about anytime. And, these are very relevant in today's life. So I congratulate Neharika and, Neeraj for the, and Dr. all Vice President, both the Vice President and our Rishikesh Pai for the most apt webinar. And I wish them best luck. And at the end, I would like to quote Nelson Mandela. Education is the best weapon. When used, can change the world. So dear friend, use this education for ourselves and for our patient, and make the best use of it. And, so our patients are happy and we are happy. Thank you once again for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your always blessings, for always giving your time, even in your busy schedule. So now it's the time to welcome our chief guest for today. And she doesn't need any introduction. I always used to say, Lady Chhatrapati na Maja Pranam. Sunita, madam. Madam doesn't need any introduction. Ma'am is the senior past vice president, FOGSI. Ma'am is a president of IAG, past president of IAG, past president of Pune OBG Society, and very dynamic and practically my favorite. So thank you so much, ma'am, for always being there, for always so kind to all the youngsters. Over to you, ma'am, for your kind words.
Thank
Sunita,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. First of all, I have all my lovely people here. So I'm feeling so good. You all know I'm on Karnataka roadmap, and I'm feeling at home seeing all of you here. Neeraj and Neharika, 2N square. This bundle has come with out of the box idea. I'm so glad when I was received. I said, "What's the topic?" And usually with Neeraj ka any committee, any program, I'm okay. I enjoy that. And Neharika, you are such a bubbly girl, beta. I can see Supriya, Chitra Madam, Sampat Kumari, Monisha, Deepak Sonkar, Madhuri, our dynamic FOGSI Secretary General, who makes every one of us proud. She being a female first FOGSI Secretary General, and believe me, when she says 40,000, it's not joke to be with the 40,000 gynecologists managing, everyone asking different question, different males with different things. Most importantly, what I felt was when I wanted to be the chief guest, I wanted to know the topic. And you made us earn when we are sleeping by asking us to learn intelligent ideas about investment. I always feel doctors earn only when they are working. So you want us to sleep. You are teaching us Kam Sutra. You are teaching us the chemical zone. I don't know. So you want us to enjoy our nights, balancing our work and everything with Snehala and learning. Enjoyment comes with the two things. Of course, sexuality is the most important part of it. Spirituality coming together will take it to its peak. Balancing the life means Nela is telling us not to be in the hospital, be in the bed. And someone else is teaching us how to earn while in bed. Fantastic. I loved it. And I'm going to look forward to this webinar. Dr. Brahmavat, sir, listening to your Kam Sutra will be the peak of everything. And Snehala, who is really managing, anytime you see her all enthusiastic, bubbly, indicates she balances her life pattern very well. So my blessings are always there. Krishnendu, I've not forgotten you. My favorite guy. I always used to, especially when he had this pony, the Einstein. I used to call him the genius of the country, and looking forward to see you on 2nd July if possible. And thank you so much, Supriya. You have to attend this to become wiser in your share and shairi. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to be with you all and enjoying with you all.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Sampat Kumari, hats off to you, your dedication. Each and every committee chairpersons, every webinar, she's there. Oh my God, she's most dedicated vice president. We have it. And I think Rishikesh Pai will be so proud of you all. So proud of you. Madhuri has aptly called him dynamic and visionary. There are n number of adjectives, but these two words, dynamic and visionary, and we want to see him on a global map is the right thing I can wish for him. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Over to you, Monisha. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It's indeed a blessing whenever you come and whenever you grant us such a beautiful wishings and you bless us with all your support and guidance. Thank you so much, ma'am.
I forgot to talk about you and Apurva, my favorites. But I love you beyond. I love you beyond. I don't need to tell.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. You're blessed, ma'am. Ma'am, we have one of the amazing guests of honor. We have Dr. Krishnendu sir here with us. Sir has been the vice chairperson, ICOG, has been a past VP of the FOGSI and Deputy Secretary General of AOFOG. So we'll be blessed to have your blessings, sir, here. Please kindly give your words of advice.
Thank you very much for this kind introduction. And, after what my dear friend Madhuri and Sunita have spoken, wonderful topics and great job done by the Sexual Medicine Committee. Neeraj has been doing yeoman service to the, fraternity as well, to the, doctors at large regarding sexual medicine. I've been following him very closely, having had the opportunity of presenting some of his data in the AOFOG while I was the chair of the Sexual and Reproductive Health Committee. And also Niharika, the real, the rising star, or already risen star, I must say, and doing such fantastic work for FOGSI. Under the leadership of Rishikesh and the two vibrant vice presidents, Asha and Sampath, I think fantastic work being done. And I'm extremely grateful to be here. And thank you very much again, Neeraj, for your personal call and for the opportunity to be here. And to all of you, great success, lovely topics, which has already been enumerated. And I think let's get on with the webinar. Many, many, many thanks for giving me this opportunity. And Sunita, thank you for those kind words again. And so to Madhuri as well. Thank you. Thank you, Neeraj. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, it is indeed one of the kind webinar that we are going to have. And this is truly, we are wonderful sessions and talks that we have coming with us. And with your guidance, I think it was going to be best. So we are going to jump into the sessions now. I think, sir, if it's
before
so
that,
with your permission, I'll just put my video off if you don't mind.
Before,
yeah.
Yes, sir, please.
Neeraj,
Yeah.
Dr. Sampath Kumari.
Yeah, that's
Sampath ma'am
yeah.
is there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Madhuri.
Monisha?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Krishnendu sir, you want to say something, Krishnendu sir?
No, I just wanted to say that with your permission, I'll just put my video off because I'm in another meeting.
Definitely, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Coming and giving your blessings even in the
Apurva,
in this.
first take a picture.
Yeah.
Krishnendu sir, let's take a picture before you go.
True.
So can someone from the laptop click a picture?
Yeah, I've taken.
Great.
Niharika ma'am.
Thank you, Niharika.
Before going to, Supriya ma'am, before going to Sunday session, I would like to invite one of our guest of honor. And as Sunita ma'am has stated beautifully about Sampath madam. Madam doesn't need any introduction. What I always used to say, Neeraj sir, agar ma'am ka 10% भी dedication and hard working, agar we young generation को मिल जाए, है ना, हम लोग का किस्मत बन जाए. So thank you so much, Sampath madam, for always being with us, for always blessing of your blessings. Ma'am doesn't need any introduction. Ma'am is the senior vice president, FOGSI. She is always there. She is being an inspiration for all of us, all of the youngsters. She is being the past chairperson of the Adolescent Health Committee, FOGSI, and whatnot. So thank you so much, ma'am, for always your blessing, for always your guidance, for always giving the time to all of us. Thank you so much, ma'am. Over to you, Sampath ma'am, for your kind words and for your blessings. Ma'am, Sampath ma'am, you have to unmute yourself. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for the nice words, Apurva. As Neeraj told, you are the pillar of Neeraj Jadhav. Because Neeraj was pillar of me when I was doing the Adolescent Health Committee. He was the West Zone coordinator. Anyway, all the
Thank you, sir.
Respected our President Rishikesh Pai sir and the Secretary General Dr. Madhuri Madam, Dynamic First Women President, and our Women Secretary, and our Chief Guest Dr. Sunita. Always, she is also now she is in Karnataka. Now she is traveling through the Karnataka. In spite of that, she has logged in. And the guest of honor, Dr. Krishnendu sir, and all the delegates, and the two committee chairperson, Dr. Neeraj and Dr. Neharika. Dr. Neeraj and Neharika, with the Sexual Health Committee, you are doing different types of webinars. Only you people can think and do the webinars in a different way. I think this webinar starts with finance and ends with the spirituality. Definitely, it is a wonderful webinar. And the Master of Ceremony, Dr. Monisha and Dr. Apurva, all the best for all your efforts. Anyway, and I welcome the delegates and good evening to all the best and the best success for the webinar. Thank you once again for inviting me to this webinar. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your kind words and for always your advice. Over to you, Monisha, to start our scientific session. We are really very much excited, and I must say that all the delegates are very much excited to learn and listen from our very wonderful speakers of out of the box topic. Yeah.
Absolutely, sir. Sir, this topic is something from youngsters to the elderly, we are still struggling with it. And I don't think so. There's not a single person who's not be listening to it on an apt attention, right? So coming to this first session, this is by none other than Mr. Deepak Sonkar, sir. Sir is going to give us the talk about the understanding your finances. Sir is actually the director of the Bull Vision FinTech India Private Limited.
Lisa, invite chairperson of the session first. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm just doing it, sir. And for us, we have like our chairpersons, Dr. Supriya Arwari, ma'am, and Dr. Darakshan Abbas, sir. Sir, ma'am, we already know, ma'am. Ma'am is such a dynamic personality. She's a consultant gynecologist and has done from KEM Hospital and has been practicing at Supreme Hospital, Bhiwandi, past 20 years. And we have known her throughout with the national coordinator of FOGSI Adolescent, with the chairperson of Association of Maharashtra OBG Society, with the secretary of Thane OBG Society, and many other awards and collections with her. She has gone Dr. Anandibai Joshi Award and many others. We have also with us Dr. Darakshan Abbas, sir. Sir is a senior gynecologist and consultant at Fatima Hospital, Bareilly. Has been a past treasurer of Bareilly OBG Society and has a special interest in adolescent and maternal health. So, welcoming our chairpersons here, so, ma'am, will be blessed if you can give the kind introduction to Deepak, sir.
Can you share the screen and set the CV going?
We don't have any CV sharing. Dr. Supriya, you have to.
Then, okay, then I will just give the prastavana and then maybe Monica can, Monica can continue with the introduction.
Yes,
that all of us know finance is so very important, and all of you also know that I cannot stop myself from bringing out some शायरी related to the topic. तो अर्ज किया है कि दरवाजे बड़े करवाने हैं.
I think there is some net issue. Yeah.
दरवाजा बंद हो गया, दरवाजा ही बंद हो गया.
Yeah. but we always
for a
miss
second
Supriya ma'am. Supriya ma'am.
So you can introduce.
Yeah, ma'am. Supriya ma'am.
Yes.
Please once more. Yes, ma'am.
Cut
Once more, please.
One more,
वो
okay.
कट हो गया.
मैं कह रही थी कि मुझे दरवाजे बड़े करवाने हैं अपने आशियाने के, क्योंकि कुछ दोस्त जरिया बताने वाले हैं ज्यादा पैसा कमाने के. तो मैं एकदम तैयार बैठी हूँ कि कुछ ज्यादा पैसा कमाने के तरीके समझ में आए. तो मोनिशा, would you please introduce our first speaker who is going to guide us through how we can, make the money jingle more and more in our life.
And Supriya, don't forget the second part. Supriya, don't forget second part. After money, there is a sexual medicine talks also.
Yes. If you have money, then only you can get honey. So money आ जाएगा तो honey उसके पीछे दौड़ के आएगी.
Wow.
God. If only Deepak sir must be listening to it, he must be judging us. Welcoming Deepak sir. Sir is a director at the Bulls Vision FinTech India Private Limited and has been a financial planning and wealth management. So thank you so much, sir, for coming here and giving us. Please try and explain to us in a very simple words and languages which we can understand. We are the medical people and are not very well versed with the commerce area and economic area. So please, over to you, sir.
Yeah. Very good evening, all of you and the respected doctors. It's been really a matter of, I'm really grateful to Niharika ma'am. Actually, she has given me a great opportunity to speak about the topic assigned to me. And though it is a very huge subject to discuss, at the time what I just try to do, I make it very simple and try to make my complete effort to give you the glimpse of that, how we can manage our finances and the kind of investment strategy we can have in place. So can we go through the presentation, sir, without wasting any much of time?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, you can share, sir.
Yeah.
You can share, yeah. Yeah.
So am I
It's
audible,
visible,
sir?
sir.
When
Yeah,
it is
yeah, it's
visible?
visible. Yeah.
Sorry. Just a sec, sir. Just hold on. Yeah. The very important thing when we take any kind of step, when we go through any kind of financial decisions. So what are the important things we need to understand first, right? So there is a very important role when we try to manage our finances. There is a concept called the cash flow statement. What is that cash flow statement? As it is written over there, we need to understand first what are the things we owe. When it is a cash flow statement is something which has a column of income and expenditure. The kind of income sources we have from the different resources and the kind of expenditure we have. Expenditure can be discretionary, expenditure can be non-discretionary. So we need to segregate that expenditure, income and expenditure first. So there may be kind of like what kind of taxes we are gonna pay, what kind of EMIs we have, what kind of fixed expenditure we have, what kind of lifestyle expenditure we have. These are the statement which one should have. It is not the statement which we actually provide. This is basically provided to CA. The CA, when we go to the finalization of our account, the CA provide us a kind of statement, cash flow statement. So those cash flow statement is only mean for the tax purpose. But this is called a real statement. This statement includes the total income minus total expenditure. So it is the first source we need to identify what are the patterns of the expenditure we have. What happened? Why I'm telling you all this thing? Because what I have personally observed and personally experienced and encountered, many times we take the financial decision without seeing our balance sheet. We don't know what is there in the balance sheet, and we tend to take the decision which is very random in nature. Just to give you the example, when you go to the many time I have seen the March end, when the March ends come, many so-called advisor or many bank people, when banks are come to you and they will sell you the insurance policy. He said, this is the insurance policy, this is the last date, and you can save the taxes and you will get that returns. So without giving a thought of that, why I'm buying this policy without knowing that, and we generally based on the peers pressure, based on the RM's recommendation and the pressure kind of thing, and though we do not have this much of time to understand should we take or not, we randomly buy that kind of policy. So we don't know we don't know the features of this policy. What is this policy all about? Just it is being sold just to give you the tax advantage. But what are we getting out of it? So it is a decision which we take randomly. So first we need to know the cash flow statement. Does my cash flow statement support this kind of investment or not? Because of that, many times what happens, we tend to take the wrong financial decisions and we tend to buy the wrong financial product, which yield negative in near future. So it is very important. We need to have, whenever we make our investment plan, we need to have a proper cash flow statement. It includes, as I told you. So without that cash flow statement, we should not take any kind of financial decisions. Normally what happens when we take the example, just to give you the example, the the theory lies like we first income minus expenditure equal to savings. This is the normal pattern, but this should not be the right pattern. What is the right pattern? Income minus saving equal to expenditure. We need to make our plan accordingly, where we need to save money. So this is the importance of the cash flow statement. This is a very famous quote. Before we start any investment theory, investment should be more like watching paint dry or watching grass grow. If you want excitement, you go to Las Vegas. So it is when we take any kind of investment decision, we need to have a more patience. We have to have a patience because it takes time to grow. Just to give you the example, this is a theory called a Chinese bamboo theory. So initially it takes too much time to grow. Once it grows, it is take very less time to make it multiple heights, to get in multiple heights. So it is investing with something like that. We should give proper time to our investments. Why people do invest? That is the very important thing we need to ask to ourselves. Why we are making investment? So many times it has been observed people, as I told you sir, because of the many pressures, many peers group की किसी peers ने कहा कि मैंने ये खरीदा तुम भी ये खरीद लो. So we take decision based on other decision. उनका बेस करके we take major of the decision, the investment decision, because everybody in the same category and they try to take the random decision and they buy products which they actually don't require. So first we need to assign the objective behind the investment. Why we are putting money for investment? So number one, the very important, the future will to improve our future welfare. Absolutely. We make investment, we definitely have certain kind of goals. Like if I want to buy a house, there has to be goal assigned to that. At what time frame we will take a house? What would be the cash requirement for that particular house? Based on that, we decide the next course of action and next course of decision where we can put our money for greater yield or greater dividends. So what does it actually yield to us? It will give a different kind of future welfare where we can live a life the way we want. That is called the financial freedom, what we want to have in our near future. Number two, the protect assets from the inflation. This is very important, though we do never realize, in paper it is there. We know everybody knows that there is an inflation. Doodh ka daam badh gaya hai, petrol ka daam badh gaya. When we talk about the inflation, in any kind of investment, we actually discount this factor. But we must take care whatever investment we made, we should understand that it should protect our assets from the inflation, because inflation actually is the real demon. It eaten out all of our cash component, cash money. Third point is very important, to save taxes. As I told you, sometimes definitely everybody is less interested to pay taxes to the government. Genuinely, sometimes we want to pay higher, sometimes we want to pay the lower taxes. So it is also implies that if you want to save taxes, we buy some tax saving instrument. So there is a third objective behind the investment. These are the major broadly defined aspect where we can take our investments and we take decision for our investments. In reality, let us take the real situation. What I personally have encountered when I met many doctors or when I met many investors. So in reality, what is the objective behind and what should be the real course of action? Because we put money for the investment to consume better. Anything, supposingly, I want to have a higher education. Definitely, why I do need that higher education? Because if I get a higher education, I will develop my skill. That skill leads to a financial benefit in near future. Definitely, everybody have that flavor and that objective in their mind. So ultimately, what we are doing, we are consuming something. Again, why we are saving money? Because you want to buy a luxury car. Again, we try to consume, because that is the only reason we want to put our money for the investment. Similarly, create more wealth. Absolutely. They create more wealth is something like, we have one kind of income that is called the active income. We always have an active income as well as the passive income. Whatever we earn out of that earning money, we should have something which give us a passive kind of income in near future. Like supposingly, if you want to put some investment in real estate, there are the two aspects in the real estate. As number one, if you want to consume, if you want to use for your personal usage, that is called the consumption. If you want to make it for the rental income, it is give you the kind of dividend or rental income for your balance sheet. So there are the two aspects when if we use a property for the consumption, that's called consumption based investment, and one is for the income based investment. So it definitely, what does it yield? It will give us a kind of a better opportunity to earn better in the future. Consume more or better. Absolutely. Similarly concept when we take any kind of financial decision. So we want to take the better, we want to take the best of the best thing, best of the best education, best of the best house, best of the best car, amenities. That is the only reason we want to save money, and we want to avail all this kind of flexibility, all this kind of services, or this kind of facility in our daily life. So different phases. There are broadly these investment phases are defined three categories, three very important categories. The one is important categories is called the accumulation phase. Second, the preservation phase. The third one, the distribution phase. So very important 2 points. Why accumulation phase? It is also called the growth phase. When we start earning money, majorly we have seen, and I personally encounter, people start thinking about the investment post their 40s, because that after that period of time they mostly they get settled with their maximum income capacity, so they have a decent kind of cash flow, and they more or less they have settled in their life. So based on that, they have to take the accumulation phase, where they can start putting a small amount of money for the greater future benefit. And in this particular phase, we have to be very aggressive. So why we have to be very aggressive? We have to say, because supposingly I have started my career at the age of 45, and then my retirement age is around 60, 70, 60, 60, 65. So it is a 20 year. So it is very important to understand, if I have to have my retirement, I need to have a certain amount of corpus, because the kind of flexibility I have today, current scenario, I need to have the same lifestyle after 60. If I want to have the same lifestyle after 60 or 65, I need to have a proper cash flow. For that cash flow, I need to have a proper plan where I can generate that amount of cash flow so that it can take care of my retirement. It is one of the examples. This is a very important phase where we can generate decent amount of income, decent amount of opportunity, and we have to be a little bit aggressive when we take this decision over here. So, and normally what happened, there's the one logic, we try to put our money into the that kind of products which gives us a yield of around 6 to 7%. Majorly when we go to the bank and we put money for the for investment in FDs, what we are exactly getting, if you see, there is a rate of interest around 7 to 7.5%, maximum cases 8 to 8.5%. But when we calculate the real rate of return, what exactly we are getting out of that? We are getting post interest, post inflation, post taxation, we are getting negative return. If I am getting a 7% of the FD return, my inflation rate is 6%, and beyond 10,000 interest, it is taxable. So ultimately, we are getting a negative return out of our investment. It looks very secure, but we don't realize inflation actually eaten out of our entire investments. So the money values has come down. Second one, the preservation. Once we attain the certain kind of accumulation, starting certain kind of wealth at particular period of time, we need to preserve it. This period of time, what exactly happened to our life? Most of the we have some debt. Suppose, say for example, we have taken an education loan for our children. By attaining this age, we more or less if we accumulated a decent amount of corpus, we can settle out that particular debt, and we can take the residual amount for the further growth. These are the preservation. Third is distribution phase. Definitely, it is not only accumulation. We need to also consume what we have accumulated. So we also have, because most of that period we do have complete maximum our liabilities, our maximum obligation has been paid, and we have a certain life which we want to enjoy the way we want. Majorly people say we don't want to retire, we don't think about the retirement. Why do we need corpus for the retirement? Retirement does not mean we need to sit down and settle out at the house and we are enjoying on the beach. This is the kind of freedom what we want to achieve. Whatever, if we have a hard cash, we can do whatever we want. If I want to start a new business, I want to fund somewhere else, I can do whatever I want if I have a cash component in my hand, at that particular decent cash component. So these are the very important point. We need to have a distribution phase, and in this phase, we need to have a life what we want to lead. There are certain kind of investment which is time-based and time-based investment. Sometimes it is as it is mentioned over there. There are short-term investment, medium-term investment, and the long-term investment. Based on that, based on our own requirement, we need to choose that kind of investment where we can take the exposure to particular investment avenues. this is very important to on slides. Psychologically, what exactly we like, if we understand the compounding benefit and we understand the concept of earlier days, when we put money for the investment or we put money for NSC Kisan Vikas Patrika, what exactly we used to hear कि हमारा पैसा कितने दिन में डबल हो रहा है, डबलिंग इन्वेस्टमेंट, डबलिंग इम्पैक्ट ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट, हमारा पैसा डबल कैसे होगा. So that was the old concept which we have heard many times. So we need to understand and we need to follow. If we want my money to be double, how can we make our money double? There is a very simple rule defined for that. This rule is called rule of 72. What this rule says, कि number of year divided by rate of return will give you the doubling of your amount, doubling of your investment. So as this grade suggests, if we want to make our investments and make it double, what grade we want to choose? If we want to choose 12%, if we are in the grade of 12%, double impact, a time taking 6 years. And again, if 10%, if any doubt, you can please ask. At the rate of 10%, it will take around 7.2 years. That is 72 rules. 72 divided by 10 will give you the doubling impact. Your money will get double in 7.2 years. In 7%, it will take 10.2 years. If we want to invest lump sum, supposingly, if we want to invest on the staggered manner on the monthly basis, these are all back calculated. It will take around 125 months to make my money double at the rate of 12%. Return of 150 months for 10%, 215 months for 7%. The important, how money also loses value. This is very important. Though we never realize, sometimes what exactly happens, we put money in the bank account and put money idle into savings bank account or whatever the avenues we try to decide, because of the lack of information, lack of mismanagement, lack of fear actually. Well, it happens actually. So what happens when we put our so there are certain data point which I have put forward. Your 1 lakh become till 11,000 in the year after 33 years. And we need to accept the real fact, the inflation is very much real. We cannot deny that inflation. It has to happen. Though we try to default it, but this is the real factor which we need to understand. If 1 year your 100 rupees become 94.3, the 3 years your 100 rupees become 83.9, and this is the, in this manner, your in the post 7 years your 100 rupees become the 66 rupees approximately. So what I actually discuss, what is the real rate I am getting out of my investment or out of my saving is around, it is something like investment return minus inflation minus taxes. So this will yield a negative growth of my capital. And I'm not getting what I'm earning. Hard earning money is not getting any value, and it is devalue every year, every time. So we need to be very cautious when we take any kind of financial decision. We need to take this data in front when we choose any kind of financial instruments. What happened actually, average return, what exactly we think and what exactly we mean. There are many instruments what we expectation, we will be getting a linear equation when we put money for the investment. First year I will get 12%, to second year we will get 12%, third year we will get 12%. Definitely it will only be possible when you put money for the fixed kind of instruments like debt fund, like your FDs. You will be getting a flat rate, but there always be a investment reinvestment rates, because you will not be getting the same rate of interest every after your maturity, because interest rates are very fluctuating because of the RBI policy. So you will not, this is what when we select any kind of investment, we set a way expectation we will be getting a flat or linear kind of growth, but this does not happen. What is the reality? And we choose any kind of market related product, we will be getting a very uneven kind of return. It is like first year maybe you will be getting 5%, second year maybe will be getting 22% at 22%, third year and so onward. Average will definitely get a 12 to 13, 14% return as on average. But we need to sell out through these phases as well. It will not be the simple journey. It has to be a roller coaster journey, but we need to understand how can we protect it. So we need to have a defined theory, and we need to define a real strategy, asset allocation strategy, so that we can get a 12% return, which is better than your inflation, which is called a inflation adjusted return, where inflation is 7% or 6%. If you are getting 12% return, it is fair enough, and you will be getting a good amount of value of your wealth. This is a very just the cash flow statement we have prepared, and it will be giving you the basic idea, just to show you ki if I put my 25 lakh rupees, say for example I have a 25 lakh rupees, I am putting year 1. Post 16 years, I will withdraw 75,000 per month, 9 lakhs per annum. What would be my total cash flow post 30 years? My investment become 25 lakhs. I will be withdrawing 1 crore 94 lakhs 20,000. My corpus, residual corpus would be around 80 lakhs. My total corpus will grow to the 2 crore 74 lakhs approximately. What does it mean? What does it say? And we have taken, it is all back tested and back calculated, where we assume a rate of interest of around 10%. And we have also taken a withdrawal. You must be asking ki inflation to har saal badega. So that is the only reason we have also taken the 5% first year, increasing by 5% every year. Every year we have taken a withdrawal, inflation adjusted withdrawal. First 16 years, 15 years onwards, 16 years onward, we have taken 9 lakhs withdrawal. 17 years, we have taken a 5% growth on the withdrawals, and so on. So what does it mean actually? Money has huge power, but we need to know how can we take the fullest advantage of our money. If you take the wise kind of what kind of step and what kind of financial decision, your entire life cash flow will be designed in such a manner where you can enjoy your fruits of your capital, what you have sown in initial days. It is not a small amount. It is a decent sizable amount, and we have not taken any kind of hanky-panky return. We have taken an average return, and which is very much achievable. It is something which is not achievable. It is very much achievable, because many times I have seen people and insurance people come and tell this kind of product ki sir aap 25 lakh 5 lakh rupees per saal per year de dijiye, 15 years or not, you will be getting 1 lakh 20,000 30,000 per year, where your interest rate is IRR, जिसको हम बोलते हैं, internal rate of return is around 4.5%. And entire 15 years we are getting nothing out of our money. So I give you the example of that kind of policy. I request all of you, please do away with this kind of policy. Never buy this kind of policy. It is a very famous policy called SDFC Sanchay Plus, and many people have come out with this kind of policy, because there is a one formula which everybody understands. If I say ki I will get you whatever amount you will put, you will get a double of amount post 16 years, 17 years. But actually it does not happen, because there is no guarantee. But these are the design, these are all back tested, these are all based on the back tested data, and it happened in the past. People have realized this kind of wealth, but we need to know the right kind of strategy. We need to follow the right kind of strategy. Somebody have the question, if I will not have a 25 lakh at one go, what should I do? Definitely there is another calculation we can understand by this. If we are putting 25,000 per month, that is called 3 lakhs per annum, still you will be getting, your total investment would be around 45 lakhs. Your cash flow would be around, you are getting 6 lakh 50,000 per month cash flow post 15 years. And your total value of the investment, your total withdrawal would be around 1 crore 20 lakhs. And the corpus, residual corpus would be around 2 crore 90 lakhs, and your total corpus would be around 4 crore 19 lakhs. Or these all figures are inflation adjusted figure. And these are the hard cash money you will be getting. There will not be any kind of locking. And it is a liquid money. Again, these are the certain concepts we need to follow. What is my risk capacity? What kind of risk I can take? If I'm willing to take that kind of risk or not? And how do I respond when I encounter with this kind of volatility? So we also take care of this kind of situation, and we need to take based on our own risk capacity, appetite, and tolerance. We need to choose our financial products. Again, the one important call: how can we sail through the volatility? Many of us, we know there is, when we want to take the investment, we need to choose certain kind of product which are very much related to the capital market. So volatility should not affect when we take the goal-based investment approach.
So we have a couple of minutes to conclude.
So I'm just hope we are getting late, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, sir.
So again, this is the last paragraph. We need to have a right kind of asset allocation theory. It is the tailor-made asset allocation theory. We need to follow that. There's a broadly divided into the stock, bond, the cash, and alternative. So based on the goals, based on the risk tolerance, based on the time horizon, we need to take our investment theory to achieve the cash flow, what we want, what we try to achieve. So everyone financial looks somewhat different. Each of the 4 unique pillars of personal finance. Again, these are the certain objective we need to keep in mind. Key income, expense, and what kind of asset, what kind of liabilities we have. Though I told you that these are the very big subjects, so it will be actually a time-taking theory act to discuss. But whatever I could make, because I have given my best effort to get it just the glimpse of cash flow statement where we can take the advantage of the lifelong cash flow in our hand, and we can put our money for the investments in such a manner we can take the advantage of this market things for investment.
Thank you, Deepak sir. It was a very well talk on the finance aspect. So, Monisa, there are some questions in chat box. If you can.
Yes,
I
have a lot of
request. I also request sir, just share your feedback in the scale on the scale of 1 to 10. So it will give me a booster impact whether I am able to deliver what is required. And you can always anyway you can directly contact me any kind of suggestion, any kind of things you require personally, because it is altogether a very different.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think we have many questions that are coming up, and sir, if you're please there for
Yes,
next 30 minutes or so, please try to answer in the chat box itself, and we'll try to share it there only because, of course, assets and liabilities are something that is one of the major topics that we have read in even the Rich Dad Poor Dad, and we have absolutely loved those books. And since then, we have been, consuming all those kind of books, but this is what we really need, the practical approach to all of these things. So thank you so much, sir. This has been a wonderful session. And I think, Neeraj sir, if we can have like him over many such sessions, that will be really, I think he's like one of the most requested speakers here.
we will keep 2-hour session next time.
Yes,
so
yes, sir.
All the details of the finance and we can cover it.
Absolutely. Actually, it requires time. We need to have a complete, theory on that. So it is a very broader.
Yes, sir. It cannot be finished in 20 minutes.
Absolutely. If I keep talking, it will never end.
Thank you so much, Deepak sir. It has been a blessing to have you here, sir. Sir has shared his contact number in this PPT. Sir, if it's possible, please also share it in the chat box.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much,
sir. Thank you so much. Thank you for hearing me.
Monisa, Dr. Abbas is there. We would like to get his comment.
Dr. Abbas, sir, let me just see if he's here.
Can you hear us, sir?
Sir is here. Sir is even unmuted.
Your input.
Supriya ma'am is there.
Yeah, Dr. Supriya and then Dr. Abbas.
Yeah. I'm there. Thank you so much, Deepak sir. And I agree with the house that we should have some few CMEs dedicated only to your talk. So that, because doctors, I believe, are very bad in investment, bad in earning money other than with their efforts and blood and sweat. So I guess all of us need this info, and 2-3 more lectures और मैं तो सर अपने घर का दरवाजा पड़ा नहीं, मैं तो दरवाजा पूरा तोड़ ही दूंगी ताकि जितनी धन संपत्ति आनी है आ जाए अंदर. So thank you so much, sir. It was a really beautiful presentation. Thank you
so
very
much,
much.
ma'am. Thank you so much for your kind words.
Thank you.
I'm sharing my contact details. You can directly reach out to me.
Is there.
Yes.
Dr. Daraksha Bas is also here. I just saw. Dr. Daraksha?
Sir, can you hear us?
No.
Okay. No issues, ma'am. I think we can ask with him in the second and third session also.
Okay.
Running around with the next topic, we have digital marketing. I think one after another, I think the finances, digital marketing is the need of the hour, definitely. And we have been running around, us doctors have been running around many times after them, because we really require the digital marketing, and we can see now the effect is there, and we can see the analytics right in front of us. So with this, we have Dr. Pooja Kadhi ma'am with us. For this session, we would like to welcome our chairpersons, Dr. Prerna Keshan ma'am and Dr. Ruchika Garg ma'am. Dr. Prerna ma'am is, I think she's there. Ma'am is a consultant OBGYN and infertility specialist in Tinsukia, Assam, has been a YTPE zone leader in FOGSI and is a UA coordinator FOGSI. Ma'am, are you there? Ma'am, could you, and Ruchika Garg ma'am is already there. Ma'am is a professor in the SNMC College Agra, has been the national chairperson of the Rural Committee of the ISOPAR, and has been the joint editor of SAFOG. Prerna ma'am, if it's possible, can you please introduce Dr. Pooja ma'am to us? Dr. Pooja ma'am, in the meanwhile, can you please try to, this thing, put it on the full screen, and if it's not, then please stop sharing and I'll share on your behalf.
I have shared it, if you can see it.
No, it is not in full screen mode. It is in slide mode only.
I'll do it on your behalf. No issues, ma'am.
Actually, it will be better if I will share on my...
You can just go up and down. It's okay. Pooja, try changing the slide once. Yeah, it's changing at least.
Yeah.
Go ahead. It's okay.
Okay.
Prerna, are you there? Prerna ma'am, can you introduce ma'am?
No, I don't think I can see her.
Ruchika ma'am?
Okay, I will introduce her. Pooja, please.
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
So Pooja is a very active member of our YTP committee, and she is a director of Swarsh Cosmetic Urogyne Clinic at Raipur. And she has won so many awards, including National Anemia Mukt Bharat in Rangoli competition 2020. And she has been an active member of FOGSI. Over to Pooja Kadi.
Yeah, thank you very much, ma'am. I'm sorry for the this slideshow is not running on my laptop. So after the finances, now we are on to digital marketing. We know that digitalization is the buzzword these days, and this is very crucial part of business strategy, even for doctors. So I'm a gynecologist. I'm not any digital marketing. I'm not running any digital marketing agency. But since I have founded this aesthetic and functional urogynecology clinic in our setup, since 4 years, I'm into digital marketing, and we have developed a website before. So I have worked with many marketing agencies, and what I have learned over this period, I'm just trying to concise in this presentation. So digital marketing, it has gone beyond limits. We are not now limited to our cities. We are catering patients from all over the India, or maybe all over the world. So the world is open to us through digitalization, and COVID has raised its impact of digitalization, and many of the accounts on YouTube or Insta or websites or digital marketing agencies has come up in COVID pandemic very fast. So I just want to know if you know if you can type in chat box if you know any of these YouTubers or influencers we can say. Do anyone of know about this? Okay, let's switch on to the other slide. So I hope 100% of our people are like knowing these people because they are very influencers and they have gone worldwide. They are renowned people, and nobody is there like बच्चे बच्चे को पता है कि who is our prime minister and who is our BK Shivani ji or the influencers. They are all around the world. They are known for that. So it all, I'm just trying to say that it is the cohort we are dealing with, like we are obstetrician and gynecologists, and we are dealing with our cohort, our patients, our population of reproductive age group of people. And because this slide, these are the gamers or roasters, or because adolescents, they know them very well, and they will recognize if I've told my son to identify some or take pics of influencers. So he had catered this because he's in the teenager group. So they are watching this, so they know about them. But as of now, we are watching them. Our like our cohort is different, our choices are different, or our preferences are different. So everybody, every influencer or every data or content creator, they have an audience. So you have to hit your audience. You have to see for your target audience, and it is not like if I'm a gynecologist, so what can I do? What can I share? What can I give value? You can give very much value to your patients, to your audience, or you can have a book, or you can have, like Warren Buffett has rightly said, if you don't learn to earn while sleeping, then you are working till you die. So because we know that digital presence, it's important because you have to सबके अंदर एक कीड़ा होता है कि आपको कुछ करना है, कुछ अच्छा देना है. The doctor, we are always trying to give to your society or our patients. We are always in a giving mode कि हम कुछ और अच्छा कर दे और कुछ अच्छा दे दे. So digitalization has increased, and it has increased to such an extent that it is not limited to just our city or our country. It is open worldwide. So I just want to make an exercise. Have you ever searched your name on internet or search engines? And if not, please do it now. So what is your digital presence? You have to know that, because if you want to do something innovative and impactful, then you have to go through these digital technologies, and these have with AI now, it has given much more easily, and with very easy techniques you can do it. And corporate branding से अब हम आ रहे हैं personal branding पे. So corporate branding पहले काफी होता था, but now we have now moved to personal branding. Like your name is your brand. Your we have like if you do any courses or digital marketing strategies, so they don't want to like the first sentence is what is the name of your brand, and they suggest that keep the name of your brand as your name only. Don't give it other name. Like I have put my website on Sparsh Clinic. That time I didn't know. But after that, when I learned, then YouTube channel, Insta or Facebook, you have to keep your ID by your name. So that will give you a personal brand. So corporate branding, moving to personal branding, then you can, what are the benefits? You can live as a freelancer. Like Madam rightly said, Sunita ma'am, in the starting, we have to work. If we don't work, we will not earn. So we have to learn to earn while we are not working or while we are sleeping. So living as freelancer, these online courses or consultations, telemedicine, or on running online, like you can have blogs, you can have websites, you can give online many facilities you can provide online. So by that you can live as a freelancer also. And or you can have a like holidays if you are going to, so you can work from there. You are not like zero पे नहीं आ जाते. Whenever we are planning to have a holiday, generally doctors का ये रहता है कि they are not very easy to go with the holidays, and they just cut down on holidays कि 3 दिन में ही आना है, 1 दिन में ही आना है. Whenever we go to conferences, we come back in a day or two. We don't enjoy. So that way we can have a relaxed attitude. So digital media or digital marketing, these go and social media nowadays, websites or email marketing, or these are the ideal ways. But social media has taken more weightage because people are spending their time more on social media. So nowadays we are seeing even in many e-commerce sites, many new vendors or even Amazon, they have started advertising on social media, Facebook, Insta. You get many things, whatever you want to, like with AI, with voice search, and with that search engine optimization, they are catching whatever you want. And if you search anything, many more products will come to you, or they will advertise to you on using AI technology. So digital media and social media, they are very much interrelated, and now they go hand in hand. And by having a digital presence, you can leave a legacy, you can write a book, you can be a thought leader or influencer or motivator. You can counsel your patients online, you can give postpartum counseling sessions, you can give antepartum counseling sessions, you can have counseling sessions to your pre-op or post-op or whatever category you want to highlight. You have to have one niche. Take technology, what Steve Jobs, he has invented computers. He has given us the boon of sharing our data with others. So technology is nothing. What's important is that you have to have faith in people, that they are basically good and smart, and if you give them tools, they will do wonderful things with them. So he has given us the tool, and we are using it now for betterment of our life and health related. We are increasing the quality of life with these tools. So as I've already mentioned, COVID-19, जिनका भी YouTube चैनल नहीं था, या जिनका जो कम सब्सक्राइबर्स थे, they have gone viral. They have like YouTube and social media has increased a lot. Many digital marketing agencies has come up. There is no limits, there is no bars, there is no actually time limits. You can work as per your convenience. So there are many positive things. And most commonly used mode of communication now are webinar, as we are doing. We are sitting in our home or clinics, and we are in touch. We are educating people. We are having our webinars and CMEs and apps like iMoms app, and many other apps are for antenatal patients. So we can educate. Actually, we can give much more value than required to our patients and to the women at all the ages. Maybe it's a menopause, maybe it is a reproductive age, maybe adolescents. We can educate. We can have a PhD support group. We can have support groups. We can have postnatal care support groups, and many ideas we can have, and we can work on that. Just we have to have that mindset to give value, and a channel is created via digital media. So social media influencers has established the credibility within a certain niche, and this person then uses this authority to connect with large audience on various social platforms. Because there nowadays people are spending more time, like a survey, it has said that 2 hours daily. They are spending 2 hours daily on social media. So this offers a great potential to connect to our target audience. So as Ikigai, many people have read about Ikigai, the secret of happiness, the secret of long living. So you have to find your love, your passion, your mission, and inculcate in your profession. so that you will love what you do and you will have the freedom of what you love to do, from where you want to do and whenever you want to do. Like you have to have convenience. Like uh, it's all opposite what we are doing. We are obstetricians. We have to run. We have to on the tip of toes. कि कभी भी call आएगा, we have to run to the hospital. So it's the opposite way round. Because यहाँ पे आपको अपना time का freedom है, अपना happiness है. You can decide. Like many people have shifted from ops to gynae. Why? Because they want to have a freedom of time. They want to have a fixed time job, or they want to schedule their cycles, IVF cycles, or lab surgeries, or elective surgeries. They don't want emergencies. So यहाँ पे भी हम digitalization के through we can have our time जो भी है हम we can plan it in very advanced way. So digital media stars, like you must be knowing many digital media stars are coming up and they are influencers. Even mommies, you can have Insta pic. You can have many influencer moms, जो कि they are housewife, but they have created a Insta handle and they are giving values what they have learned through rearing of their children. So they are having many followers than educated gynecologist or any influencer or lifestyle motivator or parenting like pediatricians or gynecologists. They are having many subscribers than them. So there is a now more new, we can say new stream of profession is coming. There are influencers. They are earning and they are celebrities now. So there are many marketing agencies are also coming up, which are managing their content creation, which are managing their digital planning, like what they are doing and analyzing and all the things. They are doing collaborations. They are doing, and the most important thing is there are many categories like sports, fashion, music, lifestyle, fitness, gaming, and comedy. Gaming and comedy are like major chunk, and kids channels are also having a very huge audience, because kids they want to have repeatedly they see the videos, so the number of watch time it increases a lot. Then finance and travel, like we have personal finance session here also. So finance and travel and beauty, these are all, but health comes in common category, so we can also try our niche in this section. As rightly said by Jeff Bezos, it's hard to find things that won't sell online. So online is a media where we have to keep experimenting, and if you have any service or any product, so you can sell it online very easily with the right strategy. And our motto is we are doctors, so we are always learning and updating ourselves, but now we have to update in this field also. So keep learning, keep doing. So what are the benefits? It's all pertaining to our field, obstetrician and gynecology. So you will have an increased visibility. It's building trust and credibility. Whenever some patient, if they hear a name, they will immediately search it on Google. So if your digital presence is there, if you have a website, or if you have a your clinic registered in Google My Business, or if you have such nice reviews or 4 to 5 star reviews, then they will have more credibility, they will have more trust on you. In establishing thought leadership, like social media is a platform where you can discuss new trends, new insights, your views, what are your views regarding any particular situation or particular current affair topic. So whatever in whichever field you are expert, you can share your skills, and patients or ladies can have that benefit from you. Then there is improved patient engagement. There are increased educational resources like teachers. Like we are learning from our great teachers here also. So that way we are increasing and we are utilizing this in media in a positive way. Then you can monitor your patient feedbacks whenever they go home. They can have You can have a messaging channel so that you can have their feedback and follow-up services. You can provide what are the services. You can schedule their vaccination schedules. You can schedule their antenatal appointments or postnatal appointments or postnatal or any service, whatever you are planning to do. Then it is very cost effective in case if you only are doing it, or if you have a person who is well versed with this, then you can delegate the work to the person. Then it is cost effective and you can get the good return on investments on this. Now, what are the ways to connect? Then
we have 2 minutes with the.
Yeah. Then we have social media platforms. There are many. Whatever suits you, whatever you are comfortable with, authenticity and consistency are the main important points. You have to keep writing. If you're writing on a blog, if you're podcasting, then you have to post it very like regularly. Like we have our Dr. Mommy with us, so she has also good influencers. Niharika, she's doing great job with her kids. It is so lovely to see her every time, and people like to watch. They want to connect. They want to. If you don't want to share your personal life, it's your choice. But if you just keep posting the academic things, they will not get connected. So you have, if in between you can share your personal things also, if you don't mind. Then webinars, like I have already discussed, online discussion forums and review sites. Like, which is your, so I just want to make sensitize people who are not on digital media right now. So find a way, find a tool. What is your favorite tool, and communicate with your patients and create a niche and listen to your patients and identify and audit. So that these are the strategies. You can use any channel, anything, Google My Business, email marketing. You can run ads if you want to. If you can do Facebook, Insta advertising, if you have any service which you want to propagate and increase the business. And rightly said, you can have like passive income through this. You can run online courses. You can have a book, like I have done a Garbhankur book, which is for antenatal patients, and it's a pregnancy activity book. People are liking it, and I have put it on Amazon. So you can create your services which can provide patients value. There are many cons for this also. There are very privacy concerns. It is very over dependent if we are not using it right way. So if we tell people the brain is an app, then maybe we will start using it. So adolescents and teenagers are having such a dependence on this that they are using everything on phone. They are calculating. They are not remembering the numbers. Everything that is on their phone. So that should not be the case. Then consistency is the key. Alternate, if I'm just enumerating some of the key points. If you are having a YouTube channel, what I've learned that alternate day posting for a long content and good audio is the first priority, and your video or content is not for all. You have to find your own audience and find your micro niche. Understand the basic algorithm of any handle, whatever you are using, or website or email marketing. Be yourself, be honest with yourself, do it with very passionate gesture. Keep trying new things. And when you start, don't focus on numbers, just focus on the content and consistency. One failure is the beginning of new success. So you have to keep going, you have to believe in yourself. And there are some tools which you can use, color fonts and like Canva, we can create on our own. You can have starting में हम खुद ही बना सकते हैं हमारी post and we can share. Then you can hire someone because these are if you hire some digital marketing agencies, you have to understand, and they are somewhat costly also. If you are then paid advertisements are also there, Google advertisements. It has no limits. It has no limits actually. Advertising.
Please conclude.
Yeah. So the last slide is keep learning, keep doing. Thank you. This quote I found funny, how it like interpreted the purpose of the social media handles. So I just put it how, why, looking like YouTube. You can look. Quora is why, all the questions are asked. Twitter, it is guiding, and LinkedIn, they are having a job profile like more of the Naukri ke liye, Naukri.com ke jaisa. So I'm good at being, they are showing their qualities. So thank you. I hope this helps. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Dr. Pooja.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And ma'am, congratulations on your book, by the way. Ma'am, we have Prerna ma'am with us. Please give your expert comments on such an important and interesting topic.
Can you stop sharing, Dr. Pooja?
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Manisha, for the warm welcome. And it was indeed an elaborate presentation on digital marketing, Dr. Pooja. You have really done justice to your presentation. And we are really looking forward for more such technologically aided and convenience-based living in today's world, more so after COVID. And it was really very exhaustive. And thank you so much for being such a wonderful presenter. And I also request Dr. Ruchika to give her expert comments on this.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it was very well discussed by Pooja. So digital marketing is the new trend for the doctors, but only 5% of the doctors are still using it. So we can very effectively use it. All the points Pooja has very well covered. So I am also putting my content on the YouTube, and I have felt that the patients, they feel connected with you. They develop trust with you. They develop a rapport with you. And they once they see you on YouTube, they know that this ma'am has knowledge. So they can come from far away to you just on the basis of the trust. So this is a very digital marketing is the need of the hour. So it's better, just as Pooja has said, because we can't do all of the things. We can be jack of all trades. So we have to, I mean, it's best if you can hire someone who can manage your social visibility. And it's a two-way approach, because it will benefit us also and the patients also, because in the busy OPD, many times we are not able to give the information which we can write in the blogs, or which we can give on the YouTube or the Instagram. And I have seen Niharika's infographics. She creates very beautiful infographics which just take the heart away that this Dr. Mommy is doing so much of work. So if we are having every doctor should have a website, I suppose. And on the website, we can connect with the patients, that the patients can fill their details and the phone number. And with that, they can get this automatic, you get an email, and then they can get an appointment with the doctor. So this way, nowadays, patients also want I mean, they want to connect with the doctor easily. तो जल्दी से उनको अपॉइंटमेंट भी मिल जाएगा. और यू ऑल्सो हैव, इंस्टेड ऑफ सिर्फ लैविश इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर और उसमें हम इन्वेस्ट करते रहें, बट जो अपने इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स वगैरह में, तो एक ऑनलाइन विजिबिलिटी रखना इज ऑल्सो वेरी मच इम्पॉर्टेंट. एंड देयर इज अ ह्यूज मार्केट विच इज लेफ्ट बिहाइंड. एंड so patient testimonials are very important, कि आपने जो ऑपरेशन करना है, तो patient should know कि आपका लेप्रोस्कोपी से आप करते हो, या ट्यूबल recanalization is also possible. Patients are also searching for doctors. So और paid ads आपको मिल जाते हैं, जैसे कि जैसे Pooja said कि we should, while we are sleeping, we should earn. So these digital marketing platforms also provide a means by which you can earn while sleeping also. And the most important thing is we can collaborate with so many people. We can collaborate with other doctors. We can collaborate with brands. And nowadays there is Amazon digital, this affiliate marketing also.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Affiliate marketing, mein you can give a link, and if the patient buys, but these things are very time consuming. Only if your assistant and all they can manage, then it's good.
Actually, it only works for beauty and fashion.
Yeah. And it's always good to just dial and Practo. They also attract a lot of patients. So you should keep posting regular contents of these patients and live chat. And these are also very effective. So दोनों तरफ से फायदा होता है. Patient को भी बहुत सारे वो मिल जाता है. We can leave a legacy behind by just having our social presence. और अगर सर्च ऑप्टिमम वो SEO इंजन्स पे गूगल पे इफ यू हैव योर हॉस्पिटल्स जो अगर टॉप पे आ जाता है, तो इट्स वेरी इजी फॉर द पेशेंट्स एंड यू आल्सो. सो दैट थिंग्स विल कम ओनली इफ यू रेगुलरली पोस्ट कंटेंट्स either through emails and all. So only educated patients can see. Nowadays each and every patient searches on YouTube and Facebook, and then only they come to the doctor.
True, ma'am. True. Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, I think this is very well versed, and I think everybody should be sharam hata karke. We should just come online.
Patients की भी बहुत सारी
much better than we are much better than those fake influencers at least, right?
Yeah.
So
even non-medical persons are sharing useless information. So we should come forward and share authentic information with the patients.
Yes.
I would also like to thank Neeraj Jadhav sir and Niharika for making me part of this informative, very out of the box webinar.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, Pooja ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. It was really wonderful. And please, I hope everybody puts the questions in the chat box. And ma'am, please stay behind so that you can answer some of the questions.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Let's move on to the next session. That is the work-life balance we all needed. Yes, truly said. Shaila ma'am is taking over this very important topic. And for that, we invite our chairperson, Dr. Kavita Barnwal ma'am. Ma'am is a senior consultant in the laparoscopic surgeon in the Samkaran Hospital, Munger, and has been the YTP member YTP committee FOGSI of the 21-23 and has been organizing secretary of the 9th AOG SBJ in 2022. Ma'am, we welcome you, ma'am. And ma'am, please kindly introduce Shaila ma'am. Dr. Shaili ma'am is also there. Ma'am has been a consultant in the Rainbow IVF Hospital. Hi, ma'am. It's been a while. Ma'am, please, Kavita ma'am, please introduce us, our speaker. Dr. Shaila ma'am, I have shared
please share the CV. Share the CV of Dr. Shaila.
Ma'am, I have shared you in the message, this thing mail, WhatsApp.
Okay, just she is member of YTP committee. She is very active member. Just I can say because I was preparing another webinar, so you cannot share the CV here.
No.
Okay.
I can say it on your behalf.
Yeah. Okay. So the topic chosen is so important by her, and I think just share. She will start sharing the slide, and I think first slide will be of her introduction. So just I invite her, and she is very active member. We know she is very good friend of us also, and I think. Just can I have CV? It's not share here.
Ma'am, I have shared you on the WhatsApp, ma'am, as it being not visualized. But I can share on your, I can speak on your behalf if you want, ma'am.
Okay. Just speak. And I think the topic she has chosen is very important. That is balance in life. So work and along with personal life. So I think this is very important, and you can read on behalf of me because I have not seen her CV. Because I was preparing another webinar. Okay.
No, ma'am, no issues, ma'am. This is the situation, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Shaila, ma'am, is none other than YTP committee member. Ma'am has been the associate professor of the RMRI Bareilly and the menstrual health specialist and medical activist. Again, she is one of the digital marketing activists right now, and she's doing really well for her menstrual health and management. And we welcome you, ma'am. Ma'am's topic is work-life balance, ma'am. Ma'am, I will ping you in the next 20 minutes.
Thank you so much. Please allow me to share my screen. And while it is being done, I thank immensely Neeraj sir and dearest Niharika to give me this opportunity to talk about this topic, which I think every one of us needs. Host, please allow me to share my screen.
Yes, you are now host. You can share now. Shaila?
Okay, sir. So Monisha, thanks for the kind introduction. Thank you, Kavita ma'am. और बहुत खुशी हो रही है बताते हुए कि I have just been promoted as professor. So वो associate वाला हटाना था. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, ma'am.
Thank you. Indeed, a privilege to be a speaker amongst the galaxy of starboards. We can see Raj sir also, Jawar sir also. And yes, I will start with my signature. मेरा काम बोलता है, मेरा नाम बोलता है. मेरा काम बोलता है, मेरा नाम बोलता है. मगर देखो जरा कि जब घर जाऊं तो दरवाजा कौन खोलता है. खूब जमकर मैं कमाऊं, गेस्ट को भी 7 स्टार में खिलाऊं. सोशल मीडिया पर तो बस मैं छा जाऊं, मगर देखूं तो जरा कि जब घर जाऊं तो कानों में रस कौन घोलता है. So with this, I would like to start that we need to have a balance. बड़ी मुश्किल है, but I always believe नामुमकिन नहीं. So first and foremost, is there any need? Yes, because burnout is a real thing. I will not bore anyone कि इतना % risk of stroke बढ़ जाता है, stress बढ़ जाता है, anxiety बढ़ जाता है. But yes, we need to identify कि even if
a single person from the fraternity is suffering from this burnout, then we are failing as society to help him or her out. If I talk about gender, then also I will be wrong if I say कि सिर्फ females ज़्यादा affected हैं, because that is a common belief, that is the common perceptions. Males are also equally affected and we need to identify. But as an obstetrician in this fraternities webinar, when we are sitting, we all know that majority of the obstetricians are female, acknowledging the fact that we have wonderful male gynecologists too. And yes, these obstetricians, especially when married, having kids, they have to face workplace politics, equations, instructions, and balance their achievements also. It becomes quite tricky. Because हमें सबको पता है, we want to look beautiful, we want to have hot bodies, we want to have this kind of lovely looking happy family, we want to have queues of patients waiting in our clinic.
कौन है monkey?
This pile of money.
Jumping board है क्या?
I would love to have this, but in getting all these achievements, the balance is very thin, and that's the art we are going to learn today.
कूदने वाला?
Because when we are not able to balance, घर जाके या तो हम ऐसे हो जाते हैं या वर्क प्लेस पे हमारी शक्ल कुछ ऐसी हो जाती है, और अगर हम ऐसे बनते नहीं है तो कोई ना कोई बेलन लेके हमारा हाथ में स्वागत करने के लिए तैयार ही होता है, क्योंकि हम उनको एडिक्वेट टाइम नहीं दे पा रहे होते हैं. Along with that, let's acknowledge this another fact that being surgeons, obstetricians, we are dealing with two lives. It is well acclaimed fact that we are having maximum gray matter, but we are having maximum degeneration of the neurons also. So the resultant is something like this: burnout syndrome, burnout phenomena, whatever you would like to say. So kuch to karna padega, because I believe when I was going for counseling, somebody could have told me कि ये obstetrician की life कैसी होती है, क्या होता है, तो maybe मैं rethink नहीं करती क्योंकि ये मेरा passion था, but मैं better prepared होती. But as I always believe, no stage is late stage for helping ourselves and for helping others too. I took a workshop. I was associated with company, and the founder was highly, and he was explicitly a believer of the fact that workplace is the place which makes a person, affects achievements, family, and everything. So we conducted this workshop, which was 8 hours, and so many activities were conducted in them, and it was very well accepted कि हाँ हम workplace पे परेशान रहते हैं. So how to do it? I sincerely request everyone to have a pen and paper. It will just take 30 seconds. एक activity कर लेते हैं. Enlist 5 priorities in your life. X, Y, Z, A, B, कुछ भी हो सकता है. फैमिली, कार खरीदना, प्रॉपर्टी खरीदना, इन्वेस्टमेंट खरीदना, सोना आज पूरे दिन, कोई भी प्रायोरिटी, राइट? उसके साथ एक सर्कल बनाइए. उस सर्कल को कंसिडर कीजिए कि वो 24 घंटे हैं. डिवाइस दीज प्रायोरिटीज जो भी आपने बनाई हैं इस सर्कल में 24 घंटे के हिसाब से कि आप उस प्रायोरिटी को कितना टाइम देते हैं. So I'll wait for 5 seconds so that everyone, at least in our mind, does this. सो सर्कल कुछ ऐसा होगा, किसी की प्रायोरिटी ये ज्यादा होगी, किसी की ये ज्यादा होगी, और हमने टाइम भी बना दिया होगा. बट असेस कीजिए, आर यू गिविंग इनफ टाइम टू योर प्रायोरिटीज in the list of order? Because majority of the times it is seen that the least priority in our life which we have, we are giving maximum time. If not maximum time, then the time which is required, which we need to distribute to the first priority, is given to the topic or activity which is having minimum priority in our lives. So we need to see and introspect what is wrong. Either there is wrong prioritization or there is wrong time management, and we need to identify. ये दूसरी एक्टिविटी है. आप अपने वर्क प्लेस पर जाने से पहले एक इमोजी जरूर आइडेंटिफाई कीजिए कि आपकी इन इमोजीज में शक्ल इस टाइम कैसी बनी हुई है. जब आप वापस आते हैं तब भी आप अपनी इमोजी आइडेंटिफाई कीजिए कि आप वापस आते हुए आपकी शक्ल कैसी बनी है. Pay attention to these emojis or emoticons. Ask yourself, do I feel energized, fulfilled, satisfied, or do I feel angry, resentful, sad जाते वक्त या आते वक्त? Is the net resultant जाने में और आने में a negative one? क्योंकि जाने में अगर नेगेटिव है यानी आपके वर्क प्लेस पे प्रॉब्लम है, और आने में नेगेटिव है यानी आपके घर पे कुछ प्रॉब्लम है. सो अटेंशन, यहाँ पे आपको रुकने की जरूरत है. Pause, take a step back and ask yourself, what is currently causing me this stress, feeling of being imbalanced or dissatisfaction? How are these circumstances affecting how I perform and engage with my job or work? How are they impacting my personal life? What am I prioritizing? What am I sacrificing? This should be a question. And in that, what is getting lost, right? Reprioritize, क्योंकि ये priorities तो मौसम से भी ज्यादा जल्दी बदलती हैं, so you can always do that. Ask yourself कि अगर मैं sacrifice कर रहा हूँ या कर रही हूँ, कितने दिन तक कर सकती हूँ? See, if you say कि आज तो मैं रात भर जाग लूंगी, but क्या आप रोज रोज रात भर जाग पाएंगे? Ask yourself that. Second is, ये जो prioritizing work over family मैं कर रही हूँ, क्या ये मेरी जरूरत है? आपका आंसर अगर आएगा yes, is it really necessary? तो आपका आंसर आ सकता है yes, is it really inevitable? I am sure आपका आंसर नहीं आएगा, right? So this is where here you have to step in, because this will bring in a lot of regrets, and we as human beings already have lots of regrets and guilt feeling. Let's not fall into this trap of this regret, stress, anxiety, and depression cycle. Come out of that. Why and how we can always implement changes to change this. You recognize your priorities, consider the option that could help you improve, and take action. What kind of action? One, public change. Something that explicitly shifts your workplace expectations. I'll explain it later. And a private change in which you informally change work patterns without necessarily attempting to change your workplace expectation. तो दोनों को अलग कर दिया है, लेकिन कुछ ना कुछ चेंज किया है. पब्लिक चेंजेस क्या है? डेप्यूट एंड डेलीगेट. क्यों? क्योंकि आप इररिप्लेसेबल नहीं हैं. आज आप हैं, कल कोई और है, तो इसलिए अपना काम बांटिए, चिल कीजिए और उनको एसेस कीजिए. सेकंड, कभी खुश मत होइए सुन के कि ही इज वर्कaholic, he does his work continuously. You are a believer कि only I can do this. सिर्फ ये काम मैं ही कर पाती हूँ ना, मैं स्टाफ पे छोड़ देती हूँ तो ऐसा करती है. And never ever think कि only I can do this perfectly. Perfection is nothing. This is just a misnomer in our head. कुछ भी perfect नहीं होता. भगवान की बनाई हुई चीजें perfect नहीं होती है उस सेंस में, किसी में कुछ होता है, किसी में तो हम क्या चीज है. So always recognize this fact. Private changes क्या आ सकते हैं? You set your boundaries, right? और boundaries कभी भी एक दिन में set नहीं होती हैं. For example, if you say मैं अपने वर्क प्लेस टाइम कम कर देता हूँ या कम कर देती हूँ, आज आप 11 बजे तक ओपीडी देख रहे हो, कल 6 बजे ही भाग जाएंगे. इट कैन नॉट हैपन. सो ब्रिंग इन ग्रेजुअल चेंजेस. Do lot of time management. There are a lot of apps that are helping you in this. Avoid procrastination. ये सबसे मेजर किलर है. आज नहीं कल कर लेंगे, ऑल्दो हम सब करते हैं, बट कम कीजिए. बी वेरी फ्लेक्सिबल ऑल्सो, कि अगर आज किया है तो ओके मैं कल कर लूंगा, जरूरी नहीं कि आज मैं अपनी पूरी बॉडी को थका के ये काम पूरा करूं. Because you have to respect your body, give rest to it, and always listen to your mind. Never ever do constant overwork and neglect personal life. A lot of things are written in this slide. I will deliberately skip it because I want you to try. One, daily to-do list. फल खरीद के लाना है, आज बच्चे को स्कूल से उठाना है, उसको कोर्स की बुक खरीदनी है, and so many things. So daily to-do list वो उस कैलेंडर पे जो आपको MRs देके जाते हैं उस पे छाप दीजिए. सेकेंड इज मेक अ वीकली कैलेंडर. इस वीक मुझे अपने फाइनेंसेस सेट करने हैं या मुझे बैंक से मीटिंग करनी है, और वट एवर बी योर प्रायोरिटी, सेट इट देयर. मेक अ मंथली चार्ट. इस मंथ में मुझे एक ट्रैवल मीटिंग करनी है, 4 वेबिनार करने हैं, सेट इट ऑन द कैलेंडर. ईयरली माइलस्टोन्स, जैसे डॉक्टर पूजा की बुक्स निकल रही हैं, तो मुझे इस एक साल में 2 बुक्स निकाल ली है. मोनिशा को इतने अवार्ड्स मिलते हैं, मोनिशा ने सोच लिया कि इस साल में मुझे 4 अवार्ड्स लेने. सो सेट योर माइलस्टोन, और वो कैलेंडर पे छप के ना, यकीन मानिए आपके दिमाग से बर्डन कम हो जाता है. Block distractors. This is very important. Persons can be your major distractors. Things, gadgets. अगर gadget use ही करनी है तो उनको पॉजिटिव वे में यूज कीजिए, लाइक चैट जीपीटी एंड ऑल. यूज गुड एप्स, और इंस्टॉल अनइंस्टॉल बेकार की एप्स. ब्लॉक योर थॉट्स ऑल्सो, बिकॉज एज आई सेड पर्सन्स कैन बी मेजर डिस्ट्रैक्टर्स, स्पेशली वर्क प्लेस पे. ये अभी एक टॉपिक आने वाला है, लव, सेक्स एंड केमिकल लोचा. बड़ा भारी पड़ता है ये. थोड़ी सी सजा मतलब थोड़ा सा मजा और बहुत सारी सजा. सो वी कैन ऑलवेज balance our life in this aspect also, because I have been seeing lots and lots of people falling into these traps. Co-workers, they are very important in your life. They are your second family. Make your workplace a happy place for them also. अपने लिए नहीं, उनके लिए भी अच्छा कीजिए. Treat them for your good work. You've done a good surgery. Go and have good food with them. Treat them for their good work also. Invest in good staff who share responsibilities and work with you. Now I said invest, इसका मतलब this staff can come, thoda costly also. So invest in that. It will share a lot of things, save a lot of things. Practice mindfulness about your thoughts. क्या सोच रही हूँ मैं? सही है ये सोचना? Actions. अभी मेरी किसी से लड़ाई हो गई, मैं चल पड़ी रानी की झांसी की रानी बन के, और मैं एक बार ये तो सोच लूं कि अभी मैं मोनिशा से लड़ने जा रही हूँ, आज मैंने उसे ये बोला, कल मैं उससे बात वापस कर पाऊंगी या नहीं कर पाऊंगी. Always think about that. Then breathing. Deep breathing practices, they identify a lot of things and bring calmness into your mind and life. Body parts. And I think I will have to request Neeraj sir and Niharika for having this mindfulness session later on, because it identifies हमें पता भी नहीं होता हमारी कमर में दर्द हो रहा है. So you have to be mindful about your body parts also. Family, our actual responsibility, but yes, not only our responsibility. Family बहुत सारे लोगों से मिलके बनती है, so उन लोगों को सबको अपना काम करने दीजिए. Don't raise your kids with regret, guilt, compensation cycle कि कल हम देर से आए थे, बच्चों से बात नहीं कर पाई, तो आज चलो मूवी चल रहे हैं, उसके बाद फन सिटी चल रहे हैं. You are disrupting their sleep cycle as well as their study patterns also. Don't take everything all your head. घर साफ नहीं होता, नहीं रहने दीजिए. It's okay to have गंदा घर. खाना आज आपने नहीं बनाया, मेड ने खा लिया. It's okay to have maid का खाना also. Plan your 4 Sundays and divide 3 for family, 1 for exclusively yourself. आंख बंद कर लीजिए, कौन क्या सोचता है, सेल्फिश है क्या है, कोई मतलब नहीं, बट 1 Sunday आपका है. Share everything. Gadget time also with kids, because that helps in building bonds, and we cannot just close our eyes कि हम मोबाइल यूज करना उनका बंद करा दें. It is a real thing. We have to accept and we have to modify. Remember, it's very easy to get angry and it takes lots and lots of efforts to be happy. It's easy to break, hard to join, easy to destroy, hard to build. So place your annual health checkup, your body, you have to build it, और एनुअल मैंडेटरी वैकेशन. तो मैंडेटरी वैकेशन और हेल्थ चेकअप आपको साल में एक बार करना है. 6 महीने में एक सोशल विजिट और एक अपने वर्क प्लेस का असेसमेंट कि मेरा हॉस्पिटल वगैरह कैसे चल रहा है वो करना है. 3 महीने में एक बार अपना पूरा बजटिंग करना है, और 3 महीने में एक फ्रेंड्स की गेट टुगेदर भी करनी है. हर 14 दिन में एक सेल्फ पैम्पर सेशन, वो मसाज हो सकता है, वो कुछ भी हो सकता है, और एक हॉबी इंडल्जेंस. छोड़ के भाग जाइए अपना घर, एक वर्कशॉप करिए, आर्ट सीखिए, फोटोग्राफी सीखिए, भाग जाइए. देन हर हफ्ते में एक बार अपना डाइट का असेसमेंट कि इस बार मैंने फ्रूट्स लिए, खाना खाया, नारियल पानी पिया, व्हाटएवर स्टफ. और हर हफ्ते अपने हॉस्पिटल का असेसमेंट लीजिए कि मेरा स्टाफ ठीक है, आर दे हेल्दी, मेंटली साउंड. डेली जो आपको करना है वो एक्सरसाइज करनी हो, पार्टनर पैम्परिंग, यू नो, ऑलवेज रिमेंबर दैट बेलन विच कैन बिकम अ बिग हथियार. सो उनकी पैम्परिंग करना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. एंड यस, each second be grateful to the God, as you always know that कुछ लोगों के पास वर्क नहीं है और कुछ लोगों के पास लाइफ नहीं है. So let's be very grateful that we have both, and we're talking how to balance it. So let's learn this art and start doing that. Thank you.
Wonderful Shayla.
Thank you, sir.
सच में मैम मजा आ गया. ये AI वाला part, I think this is something everybody should get to know this thing. The artificial intelligence is there, and you know, that is there to make your PPT, that is there to make your chapters. You just need to tell them what to do it now, and no need to, you know, रात की देर तक खड़े रहना या बैठे रहना, plagiarism check करना. So chairperson, I think, yeah. Chairperson, we have a ma'am. Ma'am, are you there? Kavita ma'am. Shelly ma'am, are you there?
Yes, Monisha, I'm here.
Hi, Shelly ma'am. Ma'am, please give your expert opinions on this.
Dr. Sheila, a wonderful presentation it was. I think I've not attended many lectures from you, but this was one of the best. And it was so useful for everyone, this work-life balance. We all think that we know everything about this, but what your pointers and your inputs were really useful. I think I'm going to really implement them, think over whatever you have told today, and I'm sure it will be useful to all our listeners today. Thank you so much, Dr. Sheila. It was a wonderful presentation.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, सच में मजा आ गया इसको कहते हैं. I think these back-to-back 3 sessions are something कि मतलब we need to just keep watching it over and over again. Over to Apoorv sir. I think he's going to handle one of the best sessions now.
Monisha,
Yeah.
can I say a word?
Yes, ma'am.
Definitely.
Yes,
Ma'am,
I
I'm
want
missing
to
you, Sairi. Supriya ma'am.
particularly, I want to congratulate Sheila. She has been appointed as a professor in her college. She's now unit head. She may look little tiny girl, but she is now big boss in her institute. So heartiest congratulations, Shaila. We all love you. And that was a really wonderful presentation. Thank you so much. Yes,
Thank
over
you,
to you,
Supriya ma'am.
Apurva.
Yeah, thank you, Supriya ma'am. After really these out of box the topics by YTP committee, my goodness, it's a mind blowing. भैया दिमाग के लोचा हो गया, chemical लोचा हो गया. So now come to back with the something nice, sexual medicine, and with something like sexual locha. So my dear friends, I am here with the fourth session, and really very interesting session, and none other than but a giant of sexual medicine from India. I have two wonderful chairperson and with me, but unfortunately, Shavana ma'am, she is from Manipur, and we all know what is going on in Manipur, and actually the internet is suspended. So I am just want to say we are really with the people of the Manipur, and we hope so it will get better soon. And we will also attend the FOGSI there. The second is really by my mentor, my very good friend, and by wo Dr. Madan Kamble is like my kanda. हंसना भी है तो उनके साथ, रोना भी है तो उनके साथ. But unfortunately, he's also had some emergency, so he is stuck there. So myself, I am going to introduce our next speaker. And he doesn't need any introduction. Sir, I always used to say, sir is the one of the giantest, sexologists from India. See, he's just immediate past Secretary General of Indian Psychiatric Society. He is the HOD at JSS Medical College, Mysore, and he started the first. He is credited with the first, certified, university certified course of sexual medicine in India. So welcome to sir. We are really very eager to learn and listen from you. And the topic to him is the love, sex, and chemical locha. So over to you, TSS Rao sir. We are really waiting. Over to you, sir. Rao sir. Rao sir?
Then I'm just trying to share this thing.
Yeah, sure, sir. Please, sir. Go ahead.
Oh, where it went off. I'm just searching for this thing. I just added here. Can you ask Dr. Raj Brahmapat to start? I'll somewhere it went off where I have kept it this thing.
Okay, Apurva, just invite our next chairperson and
next chairperson. Okay.
Get out and join
So,
because I kept it on the stage.
Okay. So my dear friend, थोड़ा इंतजार का मजा लीजिए. And we will coming to our next another very exciting, and I would like to invite the fifth session chairperson, Dr. Suchitra madam and Dr. TV Chitra madam. Suchitra madam at present is the president of Lallore OBG Society. Ma'am is credited with a wonderful, organizing skill. She has been as a organizer of the two Andhra Pradesh Obs-Gynae conferences in the capacity of organizing secretary and capacity of organizing chairperson and whatnot. Thank you so much, ma'am, that you gave time in your busy schedule. Thank you so much. I would like to invite the second chairperson, Dr. Chivit Chitra ma'am. Ma'am is again, ma'am, I just want to say one thing. Age is just a number for her. Thank you so much, ma'am. We salute your Antu, we salute your energy level. And she is at present the member of the our sexual medicine committee. So I would like to invite Suchitra madam to please introduce Dr. Raj Brahmavat sir. Brahmavat sir, again, my mentor, my guru, my guardian. Thank you so much, sir. So Suchitra ma'am, please introduce Raj Brahmavat sir.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, madam. Suchitra madam.
We are both Sucharita and Suchitra, so there's some confusion.
Okay.
Yes, Dr.
I'm
Sucharita.
the first one, Sucharita.
Yes.
Shall I go ahead?
Yeah, definitely.
Before
sorry, I'm extremely sorry, ma'am.
Yeah, before I introduce the speaker, I would like to thank Dr. Neeraj for making me a part of this event. And our country is a nation of contradictions. On one side, it is a country with one of the strong repressive attitudes towards sex.
On the other hand, we have our ancient India where karma is considered a science. And India was one of the first centers to impact sex education in the form of sculptures, paintings, and literature. The path-breaking oldest textbook of erotic love, the Kama Sutra. It tells us sex is not only an act of pleasurable intimacy, but is an art, a way of life. Though written in the 2nd century BC by Vatsayana, I believe is a brahmachari, it is astonishingly sophisticated for its times and is strongly relevant to the modern man and woman. To see how relevant it is to the present context, let's invite Dr. Brahmavat. He is the director of Kama Institute of Sexual Medicine, consultant sexologist, Nanavati Hospital, and a founder trustee of CSEPI. Dr. Brahmavat's name also sounds like those sages of the old ancient times. Welcome, Dr. Brahmavat. Please go ahead with your talk.
Good evening, friends.
Hello, may I invite Dr. Brahmavat to take over? Yes.
Good evening, friends. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes,
sir,
Good
you are
evening,
audible.
sir.
At the onset, let me thank Dr. Neeraj, Apurva, and their whole team. Let me also say whether I'm saying correctly, Sahia Jamal. And am I pronouncing correctly? Sahia Jamal. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Shaila Jamal. You were just wonderful. I wish I would have teachers like you, then I would have been on the top of the Empire State Building. My all best wishes to you. It was a wonderful talk, you know. So without wasting much time, let me begin. Kama Sutra. Is it relevant today? It's a very big question. And the moment you think of Kama Sutra, the first thing comes to your mind is sex position, nothing beyond that. And you go to any good bookstall in the world and at least you will find one Kama Sutra copy over there. I have more than 27 copies. The largest size is 4 by 6 and the smallest is 2 inch by 3 inch. So you can imagine, it's just a masterpiece. Unfortunately, I have been asked to talk in 20 minutes and I'll try to do a justice. So let's, without wasting time, go ahead. So first I would like to pray Kamadeva, the god of love, and then I start. There are 4 pillars of Hindu faith: Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. So it's a very important part that Kama is the sexual desire, wish, longing, pursuit of pleasure. It has been given absolute importance in our Hindu faith. Brahma, after creating the world, he thought that how it should run properly. So he created 1 lakh adhyay, separated Dharma part, that is Manu Smriti, Brahaspati, that is the Arthashastra, and Kama, the Nandi, was the attendant of Mahadev and Parvati, and they were locked down for 1,000 years in a lovemaking. And what he saw, and that has come down, and the flowers which came out from his mouth is nothing but a Kama Sutra. Over the years, it got divided into 7 parts. So Vatsayana, he combined all of them and brought it to us what we have got today. The first picture of Kama Sutra which I showed to you, it is in Sanskrit. It is 111 years old and there are no pictures. Now what we see in the commercial books and other things, these are only posters which are being shown. Now, how it came to the world? The thanks to Sir Richard Burton and F. Arbuthnot. These were the 2 Britishers who were working, and Sir Richard Burton was in Bombay. And what he did, he got from Banaras, Jaipur, Madras, and Calcutta the manuscript of Kama Sutra. And you'll be shocked to know he doesn't knew Hindi, not Sanskrit. And the Pandits who were there, they never knew the English, and they were interpreter. And what we got today is the Kama Sutra. 1883, he made a division, and what he said that there is a association between Banaras and London, and it was the Kama Sutra Society was established that old time. Now the 7 books, the 7 authors' names are on there. And Vatsayan, he has written in a 300 AD. Yes, you have heard it very correctly. 300 AD. He was in a Banaras. He was not a debonair or anybody. He was a saint. And he had lot of knowledge. And on this, Jai Mangal Tika, which is there by Yashodhar, which is available to all of us. So I give all the credits of my life to Vatsayana. And he's the one. I can challenge that all world sexologists, if we sit together, even today, will not be able to classify and think logically and give new ideas what Vatsayana has given. The first time, you see on the left side, the latest telephone which is there, Max app. Now within 3 months, it will get outdated. The smartphone has got outdated telephone, typewriter, camera, radio, tape recorder, our books of accounts, and even we will get outdated. But can you imagine that 300 AD Kama Sutra is still absolutely fresh? The first time I read a paper on Kama Sutra was in the year 1993. It was the third, 1983. It was the third conference of Asia. And it was in the Oberoi Sheraton Hotel. Now the name of that has gone away and now it has become a Trident Hotel. Believe me, from that time, last more than 40 years, I have been every time trying to read a Kama Sutra. And every time, like a pearl diver, I get some pearls. And those are the pearls I am going to share with you today. And you will be surprised, it will change all your ideas about Kama Sutra. The first thing comes in our mind is a sex and Kama same? No, friends. When we say the word sex, we say male or female, genitals, lovemaking, sex, sexual intercourse, vaginal and anal penetration, and sexual relationship. Then what is Kama? There are no correct word for Kama in English. Kama is a delight of the body, mind, and soul in an exquisite sensation. Awakens eyes, nose, tongue, ear, skin. And between sense and sense, the essence of Kama will flower. So all 5 senses, when they come together, and last night I was seeing our Prime Minister Modi, he was giving a toast with the Biden. Now, whenever you go in the party and when you cheers, what happens? You have a glass in your hand. You can see the color of what you are going to drink, whether it is a wine or alcohol or whatever it is. So your eyes are seeing. When you bring near the nose, you will get a good fragrance and smell. When you try to taste it, it will, with the tongue, you will be able to feel. And before it goes to the mind, you say cheers. So all 5 senses, when they come together, then between sense and sense, between sense and object, the essence of Kama will flower. Now, Kama Sutra only talks about sexual position. Yes, friend, that is what, if you ask 90% of the people, they think like that. More than 35 years back, when the first digital camera came, there were 3 gentlemen who came all the way from Japan. They were from Mitsubishi. We had a dinner in a China garden. And what they did, that they said that first time I saw digital camera, they took a lot of my pictures of my objects which I had collected. And what was their idea? They said, you become our expert. They wanted to take some 3rd grade heroine, from the Japan. They wanted to make in a Japanese language and a Spanish language, DVDs and books. And what were their ideas? Today I am doing 32 number position. Tomorrow I'll do number 2. Day after tomorrow I'll do 42. Thank God it never took off. So Kama Sutra does not only talk about sex position. It talks about human desires, intimacy, and the personal growth, which is a very, very important part. It talks about the daily life of the Nagriks and the citizen, what they will, how they get up in the morning, what the women will do, what the male will do. It talks about the cultural dimension. Those of you who want to study what was the cultural scenario at that time must look into the Kama Sutra, and it will give you new ideas. Vasantotsav there, Deepotsav there, Saradotsav was there, Vana Mahotsav was there. The male, they used to go for hunting. And marriage, how the marriage will be there, how you acquire a wife, how do you understand your wife, how you understand other people's wife, how you understand the courtesan, everything is given. So it's just a bouquet of the cultural dimension of our day-to-day life. Does it give any direction about the personal hygiene? And as a sexologist, I find many of the couples, they have majority of problem where somebody's teeth is not good, it is, stained with things, or the bad breath is coming from the mouth or from the perspiration, or their socks are smelling. So the most important part, the Kama Sutra says that early morning taking a bath, then applying the roses or the mogra or jasmine, applying some sandalwood, chandan, all those things over there. So it also talks about the personal grooming, what we see today, the world beauty. There are classes and there are academics, small things which are going to teach you on 64 arts. And whatever those are, how to do a gardening, how to do a landscaping, how to design your drawing rooms, what sort of furniture should be there, what pet should be kept, how to write a poetry, how to make a quiz and puzzles, how to select the clothes, how to design them, what sort of a material you should use. About the recently we saw yesterday 7.5 diamond which was presented to the first lady. What sort of a diamond and how to understand the gold, silver and other designs. And in a bedroom, what should be the atmosphere? There should be some drinks, there should be some game. All those things were given. So a person should be expert. Recently, I was talking to somebody that in Japan, there were geisha girls once upon a time. They will pamper, they were learning all different arts and they will make their client very comfortable. Does it only describe the size of male and female organs just for the fun? Yes, friends. If you go through the Vatsan thing, it describes the man in the three ways, like a penis like that of a rabbit, bull, or a horse, and woman like a deer, mare, and elephant. And today we find lot of people, they come down with the problem of their size of penis or they are not enjoying. They say equal union is the best. And higher to lower will make them at least happy to the female part. But the lower to higher, as per the female is concerned, it will not be. So this classification was just not for the sake of anything, but how to be compatible and how to enjoy with each other. It's a very masterpiece thing by the Vatsayana. If one reads the Kama Sutra, there won't be a first night failure. I had written a book which I'll be showing you within I was an editor. And let me tell you, 30% of my clients used to come from the first night failure. And if you scratch your head, you will also find that they come with the first night failure. Because first night has been glorified in our literature, our film, our stories. That's a night for a man to show that his manliness and women to show that whether she's virgin or not. Those days are now gone. But if you see Suhagrat, Golden Night, Madhu Chandra, Vathal, in different, all languages have been shown so much importance to the first night. And most of the people, they fail on the first night. So many times in the past it was happening and now it is happening that they meet on a digital media and they try to first time virtually meet each other. So that Suhagrat, Suhagrat hai or Gungat utha rahe or I don't know why the milk and sweets were given. Whatever what science is. So many times they were not meeting. So for first time they were meeting, they say first 3 days. They must spend in getting the trust of each other. And the women which has been taken with the force is absolutely painful. She will start hating the sex. On the 7th day, till that time, they should sleep separately. They should try to talk, go to the relatives, take a simple food, and understand each other. So sex is not an animal sex. It is two human, two culture, two religion, sometimes two states, and other things are there. So what it says on the 7th day, twilight, imagine a time when the breeze is there, the birds are chirping, and they didn't have a swimming pool, but there is a pond. So in the pond, they both of them, they go. accidentally that wet body touches each other, and from there the spark occurs. I can tell you that if they follow, this was the book which I had edited and first of its type in the all 7 countries, the therapy of common sexual problem. And my next speaker, Dr. T.S.S. Rao, Dr. Vatsa, Dr. Prabhu, Dr. Narayan Reddy, they all were as my co-editor. So on the first night, performance anxiety, fear of failure, and spectator role, which creates a problem. So I tell you, it is still relevant if you follow the Vatsan. Is it a catalog of sexual position? Yes, friends. It talks about embracing, that is alingan, chumban, that is kissing. Third is a make marking with the nail, with a nakakshatra. They can make a small round moon, half moon, full moon, lotus flower, the leaves of the lotus, paws of a lion, and other things. During those days, there were no WhatsApp said, darling, where are you? How are you? They used to make a nakakshatra. Once the lover is gone, then they look at it that in a private part or on their breast, and then they try to think about it. And also marking with the teeth, that is the dantadash. This is a very important part of the foreplay which we have forgotten today. Embracing alingan in a different ways, like a climbing on the tree, or like a creeper, or like a, dal and rice together, or milk and water totally mixed with each other. So this is a very important part if we teach our foreplay. And many a time our male patient I see, they don't bother the moment they get erection, they want to have sex. They have not realized the importance that my partner, is she ready or not? And that's why the foreplay is a very, very important part. And then they talk about asanas. Again, the prahar and chitkar, striking and crying. Then Viprit Krida, the women above position, and Mukhamaitun. So all 8, again, each one of them into multiplied by 8, so 64 asana. This is how the masters and the master person, our Vatsayan, has given, and which is very, very valid till today. And I can tell you, we cannot give such a beautiful classification. Does it only contain sexual position? Now think, a monotony of the life. If you every day you take a rice and dal, or you take a khichdi, or you take a which is made up of rice and dal, or dahi khichdi, or you make a rice and curd, make a pulao, make a biryani, make a pongal. So the monotony needs to be broken. And particularly in the era of HIV and AIDS, many position with one is better than one with many. So it's so beautifully described. They were not just for the sake of understanding, but every day. And I tell my clients that not a single corner of your whole house should not be there that where you didn't have a sexual relation with your partner. And it should be every time there should be some element of surprise. It should not be just a monotonous, it is a Saturday night or tomorrow, Sunday afternoon, children are not there, so let's enjoy every moment. And there was a Kohinoor, if you remember, condom which was there, beautifully there, one of the advertisement, the girl is sitting on the swing and the male from behind, he is giving a push. And they said no, and they were color condoms had come up. So no 2 moments of your life should be of the same color. And this is what Vatsayan has given us ages back. Is it only for the male pleasure? Very important question. He says Kama Sutra urges man to focus on woman and their pleasure before their own. She comes first. Not only that, but they say that the man is tired, or man is weak, or old age, or diabetic. In those cases, Viprit Krida, female on the top position, he has advised. And that will add again a novelty to the thing. It will, and particularly earlier days, it was thought that people who had a heart problem, if the wife becomes active, which is no more a truth, the scientific services, whether the female on the top or the male on the top, does not create much problem. But they thought of a Viprit Krida. And again, before marriage, she can study. Woman has right to property, believes in giving a woman control over the house, right to sexual pleasures, and widows were given the freedom to marry a person of their choice. What we are thinking, even Ardhanarishwar concept, What we are talking about, the gender equality today, which was already said in 300 AD by Vatsayana. Now, this is a picture of my book also. If you go to Khajuraho, in the first temple, there is the 2 feet by 1 feet. You see there is an orgy going on. Sexual act is going on. And in the center, you see that there is some vessels and they are making some sort of a food or preparation. And the sex tonic or aphrodisiac, it can be from the pranij, it can be vanaspati janya, or it can be from khanij janya. And during those days, right from Shilaji to many plants and other things, because they wanted to have a lot of vigor and they wanted to create a progeny. And there were kings who had a harem. So this was there. It's a beautiful, you can see that different types of orgy going on. And not only that, it's called Vaji Karan. Vaji is horse and Karan is a strength like a horse. So once you eat those portions or medicine, you will have a increase in your size of penis. You can have a sex and copulate like that of a horse. Friends, there were fellows which were created. It was called Apadravya. It was made up of wooden, bronze, silver, gold, and ivory. What we see dildo today, which was already been described by Vatsayana, that one can utilize this for the female satisfaction and other things. And not only that, now all of your gynecologists have been recently going to 4 or 5 cosmetology and vaginal cosmetology, and it's a thing coming up in a big way. And Dr. Sejal Ajmera is doing a wonderful job, and I could see that right from here to Manipur, and even in the Assam, lot of things are in the smallest town today. The cosmetology is coming up in a obstetric gynec in a big way. So what they had said was that certain plants, leaves of the plants, then roots, some of the fruits, and some other ingredient, once you mix them and apply the women, applies to the vagina, her yoni will contract for one night as if she's a virgin. And I said, this is a challenge. If we can do, we'll be getting away with the cosmetic surgery of the vagina and we'll be able to have those things. So you can imagine that all the things which is written in Kama Sutra, don't try to follow blindly. As I said, a phone which is there within 2 months, it is going to be outdated, but still this is the logic and thoughts which goes behind it and the philosophy which goes behind it. It's just amazing. It's a masterpiece. Now, what does he say about sex education? This is a book on human sexuality. I was instrumental in bringing out by Dan Pantaki when I was working with FPI, SECRT head. He says a physician without the knowledge of herbs, माने एक जड़ी बूटी का जैसे ज्ञान न हो वैसा वैदराज या हकीम, an accountant without the knowledge of figures, अगर वो लेखा उसे पता नहीं है, and the married man without the knowledge of sexual science are all worthless. So he said it's a must, it's a manual, and one must go through. And on the left side, there is a Khajuraho, but the same way, near Bombay, there is Ambernath, and near Gandhinagar, there is a Modera temple. And I was in Ambernath when I was trying to do the exhibition erotica. So I went there. That temple is 1,000 years old. And in the morning, there was a couple who came, went inside the Garbhagruha, did a puja with the ling and yoni. So you understand that this is a male and female symbol. And they came out. And outside there were erotic sculptures. And they were watching that. And I said, this is the first open gallery as far as the sex education is concerned. So sex education is a must because our children nowadays, what they are getting is from the friends and from the various apps. It has given inspiration to Khajuraho.
Sorry, sir, to interrupt you.
Bhubaneswar, Kumar, it will be 3 more slides. Kumar,
But sir, sorry to interrupt you, sir. Sir, we are running short in time.
Three slides,
Yeah.
3 slides. Don't worry.
Okay.
So
Thank you,
then paintings, and you could see the sculptures over here. It has given an inspiration to Anangaranga and Perfume Gardens. These are the books, and not only that, today you see the film like Utsav, Kama Sutra, all of them have learned from the Kama Sutra. I had done an exhibition erotica 1985 in Taj Palace in Japan, in the Delhi, in the 7th World of Congress of Sexology. How in paintings, sculptures, day-to-day objects and manuscript, the sex was seen right from Vedic period till the Britishers left. I had taken the help of Vatsayana Kama Sutra in the big way, and it is still relevant today. Pandit Ravi Shankar, Vasant Sathe, Mulkraj Anand, and many people, and John Money and other people attended it. What does Kama Sutra teaches us? Courtship, acquiring wife, seduction techniques, sexual position, marital harmony, extramarital affairs, aphrodisiac, pleasures, and the spiritual dimension which you have put today. So it teaches about the love, relation, and sexual exploration. Is Kama Sutra relevant today? I say yes, 100%. Where the Western scientists like Masters and Johnson and Helen Kaplan, we think pioneer of sex therapy? No. Vatsayana was a pioneer. And what they have taught, I have converted into the Indian perspective as a exercise. And I follow whatever Vatsayana says. Many of these techniques are still being utilized. All five senses, when they come and when they play together, then and then the proper sex will happen. So you have to remove the anxiety, you have to remove the depression part, you have to remove the guilt part, and things will happen. Sensuality is more important, not the sexuality. And now hold on. The master Vatsayana, what he says? Once the potter's wheel is on, you have seen the potters making different, type of the vessels, or from the vessels where they making from the mitti. Their hand goes on moving. They don't want to understand that what shape it will come out. So Masters and Johnson, so Vatsayana says, when the potter's wheel is on, forget about the law, forget about what Vatsayana says. If two consenting adults, very important, consenting, no by coercion, in a private, if they do anything sexually which will enhance their sexual life and spiritual life, is absolutely fine. It's a throwaway Kama Sutra and enjoy your life. So is it eternal? Is it relevant today? As Richard Burton say, so long as the lips shall kiss and I shall see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. Jab tak suraj chand rahega, tab tak Kama Sutra, Vatsayana will remain relevant. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Chitra madam, your input.
Yeah. At the outset, let me thank Dr. Neeraj for having given me this opportunity to listen to this excellent webinar. The first 4 topics were excellent because it was really very, very different. And so is this topic also. And I must thank and congratulate Dr. Raj Brahmat for having brought up this topic and dispel the fact that all of us thought that Kama Sutra was only concerned about sex positions. Most of us think it was like that, but thanks to you so much, sir. We have realized that it's not that. There's much more to it. I have not read it at all, but it's very, very interesting to note that there are so many other things which I learned in that book, right from how our ancestors were about their life pattern, etc., and how important is foreplay. That has been told in a lot of way, and very often we come across these many people in this generation knowing that they're not consummated that marriage, and their knowledge about this is very less. So it's very important for us also to know some tips about it. So it's just not a book which we should think, is it only about sex positions, much more. So thank you so much for having enlightened that. And about this contraction of vagina, if you could read through that, that should be very, very useful, because many people come to us saying, I feel my vagina is very loose. Is there something that we can do to tighten the vagina? So it's a very common thing that we come across. So it's wonderful how our ancestors in 2000 AD, how they thought about so many things, which is very, very relevant to us even in this condition. So it's really amazing. Thank you so much for having enlightened us, despite the fact that it is only about sex position. I think that's the most important thing. Even I too was thinking it's only about that. But thanks to you so much, sir. Thank you for this wonderful.
Thank you so much, Chitra ma'am. And Sucharita ma'am. Ma'am, your comments? Ma'am is there?
Yeah,
okay,
I think
no problem.
Yeah.
Brahmat sir,
okay.
There are a few questions in the chat box. 1 or 2 questions, just you can answer in the chat box. Brahmat sir.
Yeah.
Okay, now you can read it.
I will put forward the question to sir. So, Neeraj sir, should we go to TSS Rao sir?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not
Okay.
able to share it. I don't know what is actually happening. How to go about? Are you able to see my slides?
No, no, sir.
No, sir.
Or sir, you can send it to Akurba project.
Yes, sir. You
He
can
will be
send it to me,
with
sir.
the
I will
Anand sir.
share on your behalf.
Okay, 1 minute. Just a minute.
There is chemical locha.
Hmm.
There is technical locha.
Okay. 1 minute. Share screen.
Yes, sir.
You able to see?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, yes,
Finally.
yes, sir.
Okay. To make it into small one.
Go to the screen directly.
This used to happen.
No, sir.
No,
Sir,
no.
now it's gone actually. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
How to make it full screen? I'm just.
Dr. Rao, go to slide share, the slide show. Click on slide show on the top. Just come on left side.
Right.
It is a, yeah, click on slide show. Yes, click on this. Click on that.
From beginning. Then
Yeah.
click on from beginning.
Click on slideshow and click on from beginning.
Left side is there. Sir.
Use timings, show media
Left
control.
side. Still go left side.
No, sir.
Nothing. You need.
Show media controls.
No, sir. Go to
Slide.
left. Go to left. There is a first.
Voice.
Yes. Go, sir.
No, sir.
Your screen sharing, slideshow.
Sir, previously you has done.
So
no,
many
no.
times I've done it. Actually, I don't know what has happened.
Dr. Rao, you come on the left, extreme left, and click on home.
Home, okay.
No, not.
Home.
And now you go to on slideshow. It is
Slideshow
in
is
between
there.
animations. Yeah,
Slideshow?
slideshow.
Yes.
And then again you come below the. Click again on slideshow.
Yeah. From the bottom also you can do, sir.
Bottom, nothing is coming actually. That's I am actually seeing.
No problem. Just
No, you click on slideshow.
I'm
And
clicking
then
on
you have to click
slideshow.
from the start. Now you
No.
extreme left you come and play from start. Yeah, play from
just
start.
below to home. Just below to home. Yes,
Below
sir.
to
Just
home.
yeah.
Just click.
Yeah.
That.
Just minimize right side screen, sir. Right side, just click on the. Okay, sir.
I'm really sorry. I think this is the chemical locha, which is actually creating a lot of difficulty. This was used by somebody, and I think there was a little bit of arrangement with bit of technical aspect. At the outset, I'm extremely happy that I'm the last speaker. But
No, sir. Anand sir is there after that.
Oh, after this one more person. Okay, sorry. Dr. Raj Brahmabat made my job very easy, and all of you might have been actually really overwhelmed by the extraordinary great presentations by the earlier speakers, whether it was money or digital marketing to, in fact, how one should actually balance our work and life. I'll be trying to look into this particular aspect in as brief a way as possible. The important point is actually to look into what was actually emphasized by Dr. Raj Brahmabat, love and sex, whether this is physics or chemistry, and in our country or any place for all practical purposes, people think that sex means is actually something, a physical act, and much of it would depend on that. Unfortunately, the chemistry is one of the most important aspects. And when we are trying to talk about sex, the intimacy actually becomes one of the very, very important area. Now we talk about chemistry of love, and there are various ways. And one of the important, this thing I just wanted to show you. In few seconds, something happens. What that actually happens is actually the idea what we are going to try to look at it. That means it is actually a cocktail of range of chemicals which ultimately makes a lot of decision. A time was there when we used to believe erection is actually something like a magic. You think of it, it comes. But now we know that it is actually something much more than that. There are a range of neurotransmitters and actually which determine our sexual functioning, and the interaction between endocrine, neurotransmitters, neuropeptides is actually which determines a lot of things. One of the extraordinarily great book by Teresa, Alchemy of Love and Lust and Sexual Pharmacology by the same author, I would recommend, and all of you, whenever time permits, you must definitely positively read these things. See, you look at, there are a lot of female hormones are there. Say estrogen, serotonin, pheromones, oxytocin, PEA. You name all of these type of things actually determine range of activities actually what we talk about. And one we talk about female inhibitory response, and this is actually the prolactin and lot many other things. And if you try to look at men, the testosterone, the war hormone, and there is actually, you might have heard that you arrange this fellow's marriage, things would be all right. Maybe the vasopressin, which comes into the monogamy molecule. And of all the things, the DHA, the hydroxyethylamine, as one of the key molecule, which determines a lot of things. Ultimately, what I am trying to tell, that LOCHA, precisely, there are a range of hormones, which you are all very well aware of, and whole range of neurotransmitters, modulators, which determine this particular phenomenon. Before marriage and after marriage, a lot of things happen. And please read this from the top down to up again. You will realize what actually the marriage brings about the changes. And we're all well aware of Sternberg's range of what we call the triangle of love, intimacy, and commitment. We will understand a lot of things. Keeping in mind there is not much time available, I am just skipping this particular point, and if actually questions come, I'll try to talk about it. When we are trying to talk about chemicals, there are so many. I just want to actually to bring to your focus the idea that what we talk about something very big way, few of those things are actually, which are actually discussed in great detail in books. But there are hundreds of other chemicals which are involved, which are actually pro-erectile and which are actually anti-erectile. Though I am spoken about erection as one of the criterion here, but there are a lot of things actually which determine. I'll just run a little faster with the idea that epinephrine, we're all well aware that sympathetic overactivity means, in fact, the significant blockade of actually a lot of things can happen. The flaccidity and produces detumescence. This is one of the things. And when you are trying to talk about fight, flight, when some danger is there, epinephrine is released, having erection is actually one of the major drawback. That is the way actually the nature has designed. And when you are trying to talk about range of our antipsychotics, antidepressants, the majority of them are alpha adrenergic receptor blockers. That means they act on epinephrine and a whole lot of difficulties that come up. We have actually the anxiety related to the marriage is over and then we are waiting for a baby to come and various things like that. In fact, that itself can trigger a whole range of things. And when actually couple come for sexual issues, the relatives demand and monitoring actually which triggers range of chemicals release, which creates quite a bit of difficulty. Norepinephrine, we are well aware, it increases during our sexual activity, It is positively correlated with arousal and erection during masturbation and sexual activity. And this particular chemical actually 12-fold increase in during orgasm act. And when I'm trying to talk about the drugs, see, you look at some of the very common drugs what you use, some could be very positive and some could be negative. If this particular message has gone, you don't try to read what actually I'm trying to project. What I am doing to do actually is, even if a simple drug like beta blocker, you try to give for anxiety, it can quite a bit of difficulty it can give. And when we are trying to talk about cholinergic activity, see, for example, this is one of the extraordinary chemical which is absolutely necessary for our focus. I am trying to give a lecture beyond 20 minutes. All the cholinergic activity that is actually, in fact, acetylcholine which is there must have got exhausted. This is one of the reasons why the presentations have to be small, and actually it should be interesting and it should be a little colorful, and maybe the range of different type of excitement and sensation you try to bring in, that is actually it creates quite a bit of change. Anticholinergic drugs actually bring about a range of things. You talk about somebody is having gastritis and certain other things, actually which might write some medication, but this can create quite a bit of difficulty, and you should be well aware of that. Dopamine is one of the very key primary neurotransmitter which is necessary for excitation. It mediates pleasure, increases sex drive, promotes orgasm. And we are all well aware, all anti-schizophrenic drugs to antipsychotics in general, they can impair because they're all dopamine receptor blockers. And those which actually, say for example, if somebody is having Parkinsonism, somebody is given maybe dopamine, in fact, dopa and other related drugs. In fact, the significant arousal and in fact, the erections actually people have documented is actually very, very well known. You take serotonin. Later, I'm going to talk about a woman who comes and says, I'm actually getting tired, I'm not getting interest in life, and lot many other such other things. How actually this particular molecule operates, that one of the very interesting area to understand. But remember just this much, that somebody has developed depression is actually the serotonin is actually low. You give range of drugs which actually increase this particular serotonin activity. But one is actually getting out of the depression, feeling actually sexually active is one aspect of it. But the whole other related thing is actually that what drug acts on what receptors. In fact, that is one actually which it determines. 5-HT1A facilitates, but lot many other things actually they interfere. And this is one of the reasons why one should be very well aware of the chemical reaction activity and other receptor related functioning of each of these drugs. As a gynecologist, you try to look at only one or two and try to understand all the aspects related to it. That would be one of the best method actually. And SSI-induced sexual dysfunction was more severe in women than in men, according to many of the studies available. Opioids. In fact, those who are dependent on some of this type of chemicals, you talk about alcohol, you talk about opioids, the person gets actually the significant arousal which is associated with opioids itself. What happens because of which the partner gets totally neglected, and this whole extra effort which need to be put in, that will get into the difficulty. Histamine, antihistaminics, each of these type of things have a very significant role to play. Anything which brings about maybe a little bit of sedation, lot many other things, in fact, can create difficulty. GABA. In fact, many of the times doctors are very well aware. We write, if somebody says, I am having sleep disturbance, a benzodiazepine and things like that. They're all primarily inhibitory of sexual functioning because they act through GABA, and very occasionally a disinhibiting paradoxical effects also has been documented, but this is actually one of the very, very common things. Monoamine oxidases are plenty, and we are all well aware that this is one of the responsible cause for production of depression. And we use those which are actually inhibitors, which actually create actually the individual to come out of depression. PEA, phenylethylamine, is actually one of the very extraordinary great molecule which can actually trigger a lot of things. And one which has been found, in fact, we all love actually chocolates. The girlfriend loves chocolates. If somebody girlfriend is actually little hesitant, in fact, one of the anecdotal thing is actually feed her plenty of chocolates, she will be yours. Many of these type of ideas which are there indicate that chocolate can have a whole range of actually issues. Pheromones are actually what we basically call the signaling molecules. Where it is and all, I'll not go into the details. They are actually extremely useful for induction of sexual intercourse, sleeping with a romantic partner, petting, affection, kissing, no change in masturbation frequency when actually these particular drugs which have been given to the individuals. Unfortunately, many of the pheromones available in the market, they're all derived from pigs. If somebody uses it, whether pigs will follow, that may be a different issue altogether. But important pancreas is secreted in the anus, urinary outlet, breasts, mouth. And why I'm trying to tell you all these things is the sweat contains plenty of pheromones. When you try to look at the metro man, we keep ourselves clean and maybe more number of times taking bath to, in fact, whole range of cosmetic issues we are talking about. This is actually supposed to try. You might have noticed there are some people who get attracted to those people who are dirty. In fact, he washes his jeans once a year. In fact, he doesn't shave, doesn't take bath, and he rides a motor vehicle. In fact, these are the people who get, in fact, a lot of attraction from certain ladies and all that. This may be related to the presence of pheromones, which actually makes a lot of related things. Now we talk about uber sexual, wherein you don't wear a shirt. This may be a lot of other movies and all you might have seen. The idea here is actually, in fact, very easy dispersal of the pheromones, which can make a lot of difference. Cortisol is actually, in fact, when you are trying to talk about depression, it is actually an hypercortisol state. And when we are well aware, this is released in plenty when we are under stress. Whole range of management stress-related issues is actually one of the very important actually way to keep it. Prostaglandins are extremely useful. They have themselves on their own right used as also the vasoactive intestinal polypeptide. They are actually very positively behave. Dehydroepiandrosterone, present in plenty. How actually to increase? If a person does this exercise for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, almost regularly, at the end of third week, the chance of DHEA increased by 2 to 3 times, which has been documented. It means the corollary, if somebody is a Pahilwan and he does very vigorous, constantly the exercise, at the end of the third or fourth week, it may fall by half. This may be the reason why I married him, because he was a Pahilwan, and ultimately I am disappointed actually what actually people say. So exercise is one of the extremely important component which actually other people have documented. Sex is a good exercise. One of the things everybody should be doing. Testosterone is actually something extraordinary. Plenty in men, maybe 3 to 5 times more than what actually necessary. And actually the total testosterone to free testosterone, the different things actually we have already well aware of. What actually has been found is the sex is actually pleasurable, and it is actually very positively reinforced in men because the sex and the pleasure are interlinked. Unfortunately, in case of women, these are not linked. And this may be one of the reasons why, in fact, it becomes quite a difficult job for many women to get into actually the mood to, in fact, the reach orgasm. Love first, sex next is actually the theme of women, means the sex first and love next. That is because of the testosterone. All dirty habits, many women actually complain about their partners, is attributed to this testosterone effect. You see a pole, you feel like passing urine. And actually watching, staring, these are all extremely commonly reported activities which people have documented actually produces significant changes in chemicals inside the body. And they're all reportedly supposed to be the very positive things. And you try to look at, in fact, Modi is there, and one of the earlier visit, he is looking at Priyanka, Ivanka, but when meeting all other statesmen, in fact, he is not actually looking at it. These are all related to the testosterone and related effect. When testosterone is flowing high, in fact, he is likely to forget the whole world around. Even if somebody is putting the bomb underneath, he may not actually understand what is actually happening. They get very bored very fast. Hence, the promiscuity, the new partner seeking, all these type of things are very commonly documented because the testosterone and other related effects. Almost always, the perfect wife is one who is there in the neighborhood, rather than it may be one of the extraordinarily great this thing who may be actually there at home. We may not be negative. Hard porn and lot many other such things have been very well documented, attributed to the testosterone. Women also feel like looking at men. And actually, there are a lot of other issues are involved. And what has been attributed is actually this particular effect is related to the testosterone, which is present in case of women. Unfortunately, many of these other hormones may actually block and create quite a bit of difficulty in case of the woman's life. we talk about sexual assault
Sorry
and
to interrupt you, sir. Rao sir, can you just finish it within 2 minutes? Because we have one more lecture to finish.
Okay, I'll try my level best. And when we are trying to talk about, say, for example, testosterone, the man comes and woman actually raises a voice and tells a whole lot of complaints. In fact, it may be triggering off and actually the leading to quite a bit of difficulty, making him cool down. And in fact, the testosterone is related in case of pulses, and this is what actually can happen. Vasopressin has been found to be a monogamy molecule, and in fact, how much it works. In fact, the marriage is one of the important thing actually, which can bring about a lot of changes. What we talk about is related to this particular molecule. And when we are trying to talk about chemical locha, the oxytocin, the initial experiences which are actually highly triggering and significant, actually lose its significance in the marriage, not because of anything, but tolerance the man develops very fast for this. Unless, in fact, the man tries to treat his partner as girlfriend frequently and activities done, he doesn't. Estrogens are passive, but all said and done, they could be actually very important. Progesterone actually could be one of the very painful neurotransmitter, in fact, hormone. This is one of the reasons actually the premenstrually, in fact, the woman is actually the least excitable because of that. Prolactin. In fact, the refractory period, what we talk about in case of man is attributed to this. There is a sudden surge of what we call some of these type of things. And nitric oxide is one of the very important neurotransmitter, absolutely necessary. Arginine and other things people have given as, say, for example, something like what we basically call phytochemical, which can actually trigger, but minimum dose is necessary is anywhere beyond 6 milligrams and all. This is one of the reasons why if it is less in quantity, it may not act. The carry home message, there are a range of herbs and other related things which actually have a role to play. When you are trying to talk about aphrodisiacs, chocolate and lot many other food items, they have been attributed a special role. Excellent performance comes from excellent mood, and the partner is one of the best this thing what one can think of. And what we are trying to talk about is the interplay of dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphin. All these things are necessary for getting that extraordinary feeling and positivity about it. Somebody feels very, in fact, somebody working, married and living the job and taking care of the children and struggling with life. In fact, she is not likely to get that happy mood actually. So there are a lot of things how actually one should work on. So regular sex and frequency, touch, diversifying from the genital sex, using imagination, diet, exercise, capitalizing on our assets, stress reduction techniques, stop smoking and avoid alcohol. These are all few of the important messages what one can say to bring about that man-woman magic. And this chemicals have some of the key role actually they play in our what we call the mind, heart, and body, what we are trying to talk about. That interplay is because of the chemicals. Thank you very, very much for this wonderful opportunity what you are given.
Hello. Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Rao sir, your slides, as always, it's really different and eye-opening, and you always bring the other side to all of us. And the way of your presentation is really, sir, it's a wonderful. And actually, since the chairperson is not there, Neeraj sir, can you please give the comments?
Yeah, so I know, Rao sir, it's very difficult to put so many chemical locha in just 20 minutes, but you did your best to finish within time because we are running so very late and we have still one more talk to left. So that's why we have to interrupt you. And it was a wonderful, wonderful lecture on the various hormones, how it affects the sex and the sexuality. Marvelous lecture, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much for
One of the message for gynecology is actually
yeah.
very simple molecules are the drugs what we write. Each one may have a very direct and indirect effect on
yes,
sexual functioning. One has to be very careful, try to be as minimal as possible and use only those drugs which are comfortable about.
Right, sir. Yes, Apurva, next session, please go.
Yeah,
ahead.
thank you so much, Tejas Rao sir, for this seriously and enlightening topic. So we are coming to the last topic for today. And for chairing the session, we have two very dear seniors, very close to my heart. Dr. Jitendra Behra. He is my, younger brother. He is my what to say? He's a wonderful organizer. He is a wonderful IVF specialist, wonderful laparoscopy working in Bhubaneswar. So thank you so much, Jitendra, for coming here and for chairing the session. Second is Dr. Madhu Kiran ma'am. Ma'am is again the senior vice president at the Haldwani Society from the Haldwani, from where I did my PG from there. So I have a very fond, memories with that. And thank you so much, ma'am, for coming and chairing the session. So I would like to invite Jitendra to please introduce our next speaker, Dr. Anand sir. Over to you, Jitendra.
So, Jai Jagannath from Odisha to each and everyone who else are watching this CME. So, at the outset, I would like to thank Neeraj sir and Apurva sir for giving me this opportunity to chairing the session, such a big stalwart. And I was listening to last two talk. It was excellent, mind-blowing, because I am an IVF practitioner, but so many things to learn, because when people will come with the difficulty, it's not the solution to do the ART, but you have to give some time how to manage their normal sex. So really, I have learned so many things. It's made my day. And to our next speaker, I think the topic was excellent topics, and spirituality is the need of the hour, and to get a better sexual life in the future. So I would like to invite, it's my privilege to introduce Dr. Anand sir. Sir is a fellow Council of Sex Education and Parenthood International, and sir was ex-honorary consultant of Family Planning Association of India, Mumbai branch. So welcome you, sir. So over to you.
Anand sir, unmute yourself. Anand sir.
Please share your slides, sir. Anand sir.
Can you see?
Yes, sir. Just
Yes,
make it
sir.
full screen.
Yeah, 1 minute, 1 minute. This is not going. Oh, but make it. You're this. I'm not able to start my slide sharing.
From bottom, you can try. There is a.
Yeah, bottom in the bottom,
there
sir.
is nothing.
No, it's there.
Bottom, there
Yes,
is
sir. There is.
nothing.
Yes, yes. That.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
one.
Acha,
Yeah,
slideshow
please
is
click on
there.
that.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So thanks a lot for kind introduction. I am here to speak on sexuality and spirituality. And we are fortunate enough to be born in India, that this fact was known to us long back, as Dr. Raj Brahmbhatt has told in his presentation. This I am not getting. ये कैसा वो करने का 1 minute.
Go back. Just go back. Yeah.
No,
Yes,
no. Yeah. In fact, this side I am seeing. I can't see my whole slide.
No, sir. We can see. We are
So
able
you
to
can
see.
see, but
Yeah.
1 minute. 1 minute.
Just minimize.
We
on
can
top.
see, we can see
This
Dr.
year.
Jawahar.
View
Yeah,
option is
this
there.
is. Pardon?
In the view option, just remove the floating panel.
I can't see because I am new slide, chat, participants.
Anand, we can see it.
Yes, we are able to see.
1
sir.
minute. No, but I can't see my whole slide. I'm seeing your windows in the side. So I won't be able to read it fully.
Just minimize the upper window. Just in the just click on the upper portion. There is a view option. You can remove that.
Okay. Okay, now I can see.
Yes.
1 minute. Sexuality encompasses nearly every aspect of our being, from attitudes and values to feelings and experiences. It is influenced by the individual, family, culture, religion, spirituality, laws, professions, institutions, science, and politics. What is sexuality? Sexuality is how people experience and express themselves as human beings. It involves values, thoughts, feelings, and relationships. The most important thing to understand about sexuality is that it is self-defined. That is, that every person is allowed to talk about their own sexuality in their own way that makes sense to them. World Health Organization defines sexuality as a central aspect of being human throughout life, encompasses sex, gender identities and roles, sexual orientation, eroticism, pleasure, intimacy, and reproduction. Normal sexuality is determined by anatomy, physiology, the culture in which a person lives, relationship with others, developmental experiences throughout the life cycle. Normal sexual behavior brings pleasure to oneself and one's partner, involves the stimulation of the primary sex organs, including coitus. This is the circle of human sexuality, sensuality, intimacy, sexual orientation and gender identity, sexual and reproductive health, sexual behaviors and practices, and that all make a person having power and agency. Our sensuality includes our senses, awareness and the experience of them. It also includes the awareness and experiences of our body, including our body image, exploring or sharing the bodies of others. Sometimes this exploration is sexual and sometimes it isn't. Sensuality is our experience of all kinds of pleasure, seeking, exploring, experiencing it either alone or with others. Intimacy is the ability and the desire of closeness with others. It involves sharing, caring, emotional risk-taking, and vulnerability. Sex can be a way to explore intimacy, and sometimes it's not about intimacy at all. Often, when we are seeking sex, we are seeking intimacy. Gender identity is our feeling, sense, or understanding of who we are related to. Our gender, it's a personal understanding of oneself that is not necessarily expressed outwardly. Gender expression is the outward expression of gender and may or may not match the gender norms prescribed to our identity. Our sexual identity or sexual orientation is who or what we are attracted to. This circle, sexual health and reproduction, this circle includes what we know about sexual anatomy, sexual activities, reproduction, contraception, sexually transmitted infection, prevention and self-care, along with all of the messages we are given about this kind of information. Also included are our experiences of sexual wellness and illness, including ability and disability. Finally, the circle encompasses having emotionally healthy sexual relationship. Finally, the last circle in our holistic view of sexuality is sex. This circle encompasses what we or others actively do sexually to explore or express our sexuality. Having a desire to have sex but have yet to experience it is a part of our sexuality as well. Masturbation and using sex toys are part of this circle. Finally, what we don't want to do can also be a part of our sexuality. And values, agency, power, all of these meet at the middle circle to formulate your values and in turn, your agency and power as a sexual human. What is spirituality? Spirituality is a dynamic and intrinsic aspect of humanity through which persons seek ultimate meaning, purpose, and transcendence, and experience relationship to self, family, others, community, society, nature, and the significant or sacred. Spirituality expressed through beliefs, values, traditions, and practices. Spirituality does not come from religion. It comes from our soul. We must stop confusing religion and spirituality. Religion is a set of rules, regulations, and rituals created by humans, which we are supposed to help people spiritually. Due to human imperfection, religion has become corrupt, political, divisive, and a tool for power struggle. Spirituality is not theology or ideology. It is simply a way of life, pure and original as given by the Most High. Spirituality is a network linking us to the Most High, the universe, and each other. What is spirituality? This picture explains it very nicely. Religion is an agreement between a group of people about what God is. Spirituality is a one-on-one relationship. Sexuality is our relationship to our body, to pleasure, to our sensuality, and to sex. All manifestations of living in a physical human body and experiencing our humanness to the greatest extent and the most intimate core. Spirituality is our connection to our spirit, to the non-physical aspects of self. We grow our spirituality to grow as an eternal being, as a life force beyond this physical plane. Our spirituality gives us a purpose for our human life. Deepening your spiritual sexuality. The sexual life force behind humanity is an overwhelming spirit. When experienced properly, sex is an all-encompassing experience. As the walls fall down around them, the couple remains with only each other, alone in a universe of their making. Unfortunately, society often reduces sex to the mere act of orgasm. Pornography and casual encounters encourage quick sexual interactions with little emotion. While the main effect of this is on the single individual, couples often fall into a similar trap. The false dichotomy of sexuality and spirituality. Overall, the problem is that so often people put the spiritual and physical at odds with one another when they are actually two sides of the same coin. It does not make a person more spiritual to transcend the sexual or physical. It makes you out of touch with your humanity. The opposite is true. If you are powerfully connected to and embracing your physical body and your sexuality, you are living fully in your humanness, and that is as spiritual as it gets. Sacred sexuality, how to have sacred spiritual sex. The biggest misconception about sex is that it's dirty, forbidden, or wrong. In truth, sex is sacred. Sex is pure cosmic energy. Sex is a physical act that provides a direct connection to the divine. Sacred sexuality is completely counter to what our culture presents as the experience of sex. In modern society, sex is completely externally focused. It's an objectification of form, mired in fantasy, watched from the sidelines as a spectator through porn and taking for granted the warm human flesh we connect with. While this widely used approach will surely produce an orgasm, it can be animalistic and short, 20 seconds on average. Experience sex this way takes away from the present. The present is the only truth there really is. It takes us outside of ourselves when really the Holy Grail, sex as communion with the soul, is a possibility that exists within us any time, all the time. Summary, sacred sexuality is the opposite of modern society sex. It's a massively powerful energy that could open a field of intimacy in your relationship with your lover that you never knew existed. How to have sacred sex? Let us step into sexiness in a whole new way. Note, you do not have to have a partner to practice sacred sex. You can fly solo. How to have connect to your spirituality. Recognize that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, that you were created from a divine blueprint. Recognize sex as part of this spirituality. Feeling guilt or embarrassed, please don't. Sex is fantastic, wonderful, amazing, natural, wild, erotic, and awesome. With consenting partners and within the realms of both people's boundaries, sex should occur freely. Decide to see your partner as divine. Accept that if you are a divine expression of and your partner is too, yes, that person who annoys you and challenges you to no end, expand your understanding and surrender all judgment of the person God has provided as your soulmate. Embrace the act of sex as worship of your partner and a sacred representation of the divine, no matter how different you imagine these things to be. You get out of it what you put into it. Exercise your devotion muscle. Fake it till you make it. By holding this highest vision of your part for your partner, you will be loving them into their best expression of their divine design. This is truly divine principle in action. Yes, you are a healer now. Create the environment in which sacred sex can blossom. Engage the senses. Find a soft, beautiful blanket that is only for union with your beloved. Sprinkle rose petals around the space, light candles and play music. I recommend getting a drone sound from an app for a neutral backdrop that encourages healing and a spiritual vibe. Prepare your body, shower or bath. Cleanliness is essential to meet the divine. Adorn your body with oils, style your hair, wear makeup that makes you feel your best, and even put on jewelry if it makes you feel more spiritually centered. Wear a piece of clothing sacred to this space, this act, a robe, a slip, or something else you feel prepares your body and spirit to meet. Begin sacred sex with an essential while the thing when you are both ready, enter into the circle of rose petals. Join your third eyes together, breathing for 6 inhales and 6 exhales. Take turns anointing each other with essential oils like sandalwood and rose. Place the oil on each other on heart, space, and genitals. Follow your sexual infusion. Open yourself. But only 2 slides left. Open yourself to exploring sexual intimacy. However, you feel moved to do so. Let your session be unique and distinct to yourself and to itself. Remember, being fully in the moment during sex means having a total awareness of our being right now. Practice looking into each other's eyes. Stay in the feeling of each moment. Drop into the visceral feeling of this experience. If you are not sure when to begin, consider incorporating tantric sex practices. Tantra is a sexual practice that beautifully merges sex and spirituality. Experience a sacred orgasm. When you climax, practice drawing that energy into your heart. Feel the orgasm release evolution and simultaneously draw that bliss into your heart. Visualize yourself and your partner joined inside a 3-dimensional sex-minded star. For more experienced practitioners of sacred sex, you may wish to try having an energy orgasm. Simply described, an energy orgasm is flushing and disbursement of sexual energy throughout the entire body. Practice luxurious aftercare. In the afterglow, share thoughts and feelings on your experience. A practice known as aftercare. Enjoy some decadent dark chocolate. Laugh about your challenges with this new approach and enjoy the expanded experience of your intimacy. Takeaway messages is sexuality is or spirituality in physical form. Sexuality is to spirituality as matter is to non-matter. Sexuality is to spirituality as sensation is to higher thought. Sexuality is to spirituality as pleasure is to joy. Sexuality is to spirituality as erotic is to purpose. And sexuality is to spirituality as creativity is to divinity. And two these things are there. You will love to see them.
Sir, is it video?
Yeah, it's video. It's video.
But it's not playing. Yeah, it's not playing, sir. I think there is.
That is what I am trying to do. There is something wrong in it. Just 1 minute, I'll check. If it is, it's okay. Then anyway, it's not playing.
It's okay, sir.
It's end of my talk.
Sir, thank you. Yeah, yes, sir. So
Thanks a lot for your kind listening
and
giving me an opportunity to speak.
Thank you so much, Anand sir. Because many of person, when they are thinking about sexuality and spirituality, they have always get confused ki how can it be possible sexuality with the spirituality. But you have wonderfully explained that a lot can be happen in even in sexuality. Thank you so much. Madhu? Okay.
Dr. Madhu, can you just, if you have any remarks, please. Madhu, unmute yourself.
Yes.
Anand sir, can you stop sharing? Anand sir, please.
Yes, sir. Yeah, just 1 minute.
Thank you, Dr. Anand, for such a beautiful talk on this wonderful subject. And as a gist for today's talk, I would just say that India has been very advanced in the sense that we had Vatsyayan writing Kama Sutra in 300 AD, and we had temples like Khajuraho built 1000 years back, and we are again re-exploring what our ancestors had known for so many centuries. Thank you all the speakers for such wonderful talk.
Thank you, chairperson. Over to you, Niharika, for vote of thanks. I know you are getting very late, but sorry.
No, sir, it's okay. Work-life balance, learned from the webinar. So, on behalf of the Sexual Medicine Committee of FOGSI and Young Talent Promotion Committee of FOGSI, I give my heartfelt thank you to all the faculty who was there for this wonderful out-of-the-box webinar. At present on the Zoom, we had almost 150 people watching us, and we also were live with the MediSage team, and we had almost 222 people who were watching us there. So it was entirely very successful, and I feel that such topics are needed now, and we should be planning to balance our life in all ways possible. Neeraj sir, thank you so much for doing this in collaboration with YTP committee, and I look forward to planning more such webinars. We also thank all our FOGSI office bearers who were here with us today, who blessed this webinar and made it successful. And thank you to Monisha and Apurva for conducting this program successfully. Thank you so much, everyone.